Hello everyone, welcome to The Lost Harbor. I am your host and your DM, Nitsify. We have a few of our players here. Welcome to the Rum and Harbor campaign, to be more specific, by the way. We have Isa, aka Toasty Ghost, who plays Ublex.
Yeah, man.
We have Tic Tac Dylan, aka Dylan, who plays Chrono.
I just ate some food.
No, you didn't. And
I did.
And we have Reed, aka Bizarre Man, aka Frog in a Box, which is Misaki.
My character's been neutered for 4 days so far.
Yes. You have a lot more to go. And as you can see, we have a missing person right now. He was supposed to have been here, but we haven't seen him in a bit. So I'm assuming he's asleep. So for now, we're gonna run the session without him, and if he shows up, he shows up. Because we're not gonna keep the others waiting forever. But it's a little bit more of a chill session, so it should be fine. Should be fine. Alright, so welcome one and welcome all. In case you didn't see the last session, they fought a big old glooby glob of slime, essentially, in a cave area with a celestial summoner named Jiro, who had been living on the island for quite some time.
And Ublex didn't get bored.
Ublex,
which is great news.
Yep. The slime continued to try and bring Ublex closer to it to try and absorb it. And attempt to merge and evolve. Yeah, it was not consensual at all.
No means no.
It also continued to try and kill the rest of the party and got damned close with, I think it was Chrono and Mollis? I think it was Chrono and Mollis. No, Chrono and Ublex, actually. It came insanely close to Ublex.
Speaking of killing.
Luckily, you guys managed to win it without anybody going down or, getting killed. And
until later.
Yeah, well, spoilers. Wow. Some stuff went down. You guys managed to get a hold of the book that Ublex came to the island for, but in the process, you ran into a very specific shade that you may remember from the first ever session in the campaign. He started talking, and a guy got mad at him, and instead of putting out the information he was going to tell them about, instead he chose to kill Jiro. And basically chose to disappear, saying your consequences of actions, your actions have consequences. So that led to some little bit of some disagreements within the party, within the crew. Mollis completely decking Chrono and yelling the absolute fuck out of him and leaving.
Yeah.
So there's still a few things that have been done. They've taken a long rest. As of now, Mollis has not been seen ever since he stormed out, so they don't know where he is. As for everybody else, you guys got to rest up at Jiro, rest in peace, his old building. And that's where we're going to be picking up today. As one thing that I do know for a fact is that Ublex needed to go and look for a circle because his patron wanted this book. So before we start getting into what Usagi and Chrono want to do, we're going to go ahead and start, knocking into Ublex's side of the things here. Let's do that straight away. So I'm going to have you do Ublex. I'm going to have you roll me a advantaged survival check. As you are basically going to be looking for your patron's summoning circle, essentially.
Okay, perfect. While you're doing that, I can continue contemplating my actions last week.
Hell yeah. Also, for the visual viewers, don't don't
Nat
question.
20.
Nat 20. Okay, so
It
you
must be the
Oh, boy.
you know what?
it's gotta be the thing on the counter. It's gotta be the thing on the
This is
counter.
how Issa starts to get good rolls now.
So Issa,
Good luck.
you have the Ublex good luck. We made some custom emotes for the Discord server, and I've got one of them which is animated up on the Tavern right now. For the visual viewers, maybe that's the luck charm. So Ublex, you feel immediately as soon as you wake up. You immediately feel, which by the way, you can you had what was it? You had a total of 11 inches. No, you were at the height of 11 inches, but you're 3 foot, 3 foot wide, so that means you have 8 inches. So you've lost 2 of those inches, or 2 feet of water out of your body. Because you can drain 2 feet per day. So you're now down to 9 feet tall, 9 feet wide. Good job, good job. But as you wake up, as you wake up in your like blobby, massive, sloshing form of swirling blue and green, you wake up and you immediately feel an immediate tug on your psyche, like just immediate, like, wait, I know exactly where it is. There's no doubt in your mind, you know where it is. Do you even bother cooking in the morning, or are you just gunning for it?
Gunning for it. You
All
guys can go starve.
Alright, cool. How
That
are
makes
you
sense.
leaving the house? Are you going through the windows? I'm joking, you probably go through the door. Yeah, that's not really a good way to go through the fucking window right now for you. Yeah, so you go through the door, you kind of squeeze yourself through, and you just start booking it into the forest area. You'll spend like a good 5 minutes making your way up to this circle. While you're making your way up to this circle, I'm going to ask Chrono and Usagi, what were the things that you were wanting to do? Let's knock out Chronos first, actually. That way we have a precise order here.
So mine is not very complicated. I do want to go ahead and take some of those books that Gerald had with me.
Okay.
Most notably, if I recall correctly, you're talking about that they had books about being a celestial summoner. Is that right?
Yes, so they had 2 books on celestial summoning and how it works. They had 2 other books on the celestial planes.
Okay. I do want to... Could I carry all 4 of them? Yeah, I could probably carry all.
You could. You can
Yeah,
you can just go on D&D Beyond, go to inventory, and there's when you add inventory, there's a thing just called books in the game. It's like a common item. You can just add 4 of those, and you can just name 2 of them, like celestial summoning, and the other 2 like celestial plane books, essentially. That way you can add it to your weight, and you know that you're not over encumbering yourself. But yeah.
Okay, gotcha. 1 second. Okay, and that's about it, to be honest.
Okay.
Kronos definitely more than ready to get off this island when everyone's ready.
That is valid. Also, there is Usagi. What did you want to do?
Usagi is just going to Jiro's house and stealing and like looking for anything that might be valuable.
Okay, well you were already sleeping there, so you don't have to even walk there.
That's convenient.
Yeah, because I mean, like, where else are you gonna sleep? Because you'd have to go all the way back to your boat, like, that's the other option, or you sleep in the ruins, and that's not very comfortable. Also not safe.
And there's wolves there!
Yeah. So that was really the only good option, even though it's a little grim because the guy's dead, and you actively watched him die that very day. But it doesn't matter. Yeah, so you just...
But at least there'll be fun stuff to steal.
Yeah, so now something to keep in mind, this is a man who has mainly been living on this island by himself the majority of times. He has been collecting things from the castle itself, meaning that a lot of his stuff, with him being more a sage, the stuff that he was collecting was more like smaller, like valuable artifact stuff that they probably had carved up in the times, and then his own like survival gear essentially. So. Yeah. You have the books that are left there, like books from, like, backlog books that, like, have written down, like, oh, well, this person was at our ports X, Y, and Z. This is how the castle was being run X, Y, and Z. Those could technically be sold. They are historical.
I guess.
Yeah, so those are, you can take 10 historical books then. You can put those in your inventory if you take all 10.
Right.
The next thing is that there is a few, like, stone statues. They're like, hand-sized. So you could probably fit, like, maybe 1 in your bag, before, like, it's mostly because of how bulky these are. It's not like it weighs too much, it's just how bulky it is. It would make it really hard to fit anything else in your bag at the same time.
With the books?
You could take, probably, I'd say 1 stone statue. It is essentially just carved, remember that, how I mentioned that, like, Almiraj, like, knight before that was up on that column that had fallen over? It's one of those. So it has like the horn popping out of like the rabbit's ears with like a sword, like being basically duged down. So you can grab one of those. You could probably sell that for maybe probably a few thousand rupees, honestly. Like, again, it's a historical thing.
Yeah.
And the other thing that you'll be able to find is like this is where more of the survival stuff starts coming into play. So if you wanted, there are some arrows here. There are 13 arrows. that he has like crafted and built to the side. Even though he didn't really seem to use his bow, there's a very old, torn up bow. So it's
Well, I
pretty
will take
worn.
the arrows because I do need those.
Fair enough.
How
And
many are there?
there's 13.
Okay.
It's just slightly above a bundle. And
Alright.
the one other thing that is, I guess, technically of note is the food, if you want to add some extra rations to yourself. I know you guys are pretty built and, like, well-fed when it comes to shark jerky. An insane amount of shark jerky. But if you want any extra, stuff to maybe spice up your life a little bit, there are some herbs in here. So, like, yeah, just, like, common everyday herbs.
When you said that for a minute, my brain automatically went to, wait, does he have BDSM gear in it or something?
No.
Gotcha.
Nah, nothing like that. But yeah, I don't know if you'd really care about food, so. Considering you guys are pretty stocked up.
That's true.
If that is all, Usagi, I will be hopping back over to Issa.
Okay.
Alright, I'm gonna take that as a yes. So, Issa. After like 5 minutes of like, basically you're having to like, because of how tight-knit these trees are, and your current like width, you're kind of having to like squeeze yourself through some areas, but like overall there's like some clear. It's one of those things because these forests, because they have not really been maintained by anyone, and they've just been allowed to kind of just grow naturally over like an insane amount of years, it's a very thick forest. You're able to get your way through, obviously. It's just, it takes you longer than what should have. Anyone else, it would just take like a 3-minute walk. But because of like, having to like kind of find your way around some trees because they're just too like close together, stuff like that, it takes you like a good 5 minutes to get to the summoning circle. But you eventually find the summoning circle to your patron, Hamalicia. Do you remember the process of how to use it?
Put honey on it.
Yeah. That's it.
Honey.
Yeah, so you start pouring the honey around the ring, like just basically walking, you sliming around it, just pouring the honey all over it. And then you see it begin to light up. And then your favorite little thing happens, where you see the flash. And the next thing you know, you're in her domain.
Is there any music, by the way?
There is music. I do apologize. I thought I put it onto screen share, but apparently it only stayed on OBS despite me telling Discord to shift. I told it to shift the break.
Moment right there.
Yeah, no, that's a Discord moment. That really is. I did tell it to, but I don't know why it didn't do that. But it's fixed now, so it's fine. But as you begin to open your eyes, you'll start seeing the domain. Issa, you see the hut, the inside of the hut of your witch's domain, Hamalicia. She's just sitting up on like one of her chairs, very like, very well decorated cushioned chair. She would just look up over at you and just go, "Oh, you're back. How are you doing, Ublex?"
This slime tried to eat me.
Oh, right. I'm guessing you got the book and so the slimes on that island was near the book then.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. There was this really big one and tried to like merge with me. I didn't know what that meant. They were green. I was up just a little blue slime.
Oh, that's odd. Right. Well, I do apologize. If I had known about the slimes, I would have told you ahead of time, but sadly, my view on your world is somewhat limited due to your gods, so I can only do so much on that. I do apologize. But you're unscathed, as from what I can see, seem to be fine. Though you've gained a little bit of, mass.
Kind of sucked some of them in.
Ah, well, that didn't harm you or anything? You're okay?
I'm perfectly fine. It's just kind of weird.
You see her kind of like raise her hand and kind of just like, you see her like kind of like bring her hand like near what is essentially kind of your face, quote unquote, and kind of just like not touch you, but like basically hover hand just slightly, like, near you. And you feel like almost like an aura come from the hand. And she would just go, ah, right, yeah, well, it doesn't seem to be harming you. That's odd. Normally, granted, it seems like it's a different material, it's a different type of slime type. So normally absorbing that should have hurt you. That doesn't make sense. Right.
Hurt me?
Yes, there's... Right, so... Plasmoids, that's what you are. Normally there's different forms and types of plasmoids. Different colors normally are, different types of plasmoids. But also, I've never seen a blue one. That's not... Maybe this is normal for blue plasmoids? I've only seen green ones and red ones and purple ones. I've never seen a blue one. Maybe that's normal for your type. Normally, if a green were to, let's say, absorb a red one, it would start taking a form of, well, force damage, because the reds are made of blood, and normally the blood will begin to try and force its way through the acidity, and it becomes like a battle within its very body. But for you, you seem to have absorbed it with no problem. Interesting. Well...
Have your book.
Right, yes, thank you. And you see her kind of like get up from her chair and grab the book, and she would just go, did you want a copy?
Copy? What do you mean? Like...
Well, I mean, it's from your world, and it'd be greedy of me not to create a copy in case you wanted to read it. It is from your world, after all. I'm a considerate patron. I'm not just going to backstab you and take whatever I want to be on my way.
Thank you. I would love to keep a copy, please.
Okay. And you see her go over to, like, it is this, like, ramshackled box, but it has, like, this little slot. And it's, like, just the right sizing. It's like a mailbox slot. Of, like, like, how back in, like, I think the 70s or 60s, they would have this little slots for, like, the mailbox where you could just slide, like a note or a letter or, like, a book into, like, a library area. It was just big enough for books, but nothing bigger than that. That's kind of the sizing of this slot, essentially. You see her slide the book into this, like, essentially wooden, like, box it's a little creaky. It's probably not in the best condition, but also she's not one to be she's not an artificer. That's not her shtick. But you see like this, like, you see it, like, begin to rattle a bit. And then it stops as steam kind of pillows out from the top area where there's, like, a lid opening. You see her lift it open, and now there's a second one. As it spits out the original, and opens up a second. And she would give you back the original. And she would just go, I think it's only fair that your world keeps the original, but it's nice to have a copy. Thank you. I wanted this because I'm seeing that I saw that the race that was showing up on that island seems to be appearing within my world as well, and I'd like to have as much information. Though, I'm guessing different worlds, they'll probably get different cultures and things like that. They might even evolve differently for all I know, but they at least have an idea of how they'll work and how they'll grow to be. It's a smart thing. And you see her walk over to her bookshelf, and she is like, I want to mention that she has a whole wall of just bookshelves filled to the brim. And you see her just push it into, like, a random slot. And just go, well, I appreciate that. As for you, I'm going to give you a reward because I think it's only fair. You did do my bidding, after all. And you would see her walk on over to you. And once again, she will put her hand hovering inches away from your face. And you would feel as if you have a form of power that begins to surge within your body. Within your very slimy body. As you gain the ability, once per day, to be able to cast Hex. It will not use a spell slot. It will not use a spell slot. But once per day, you may cast Hex. So nice. You got yourself a new little extra spell, which, if I remember correctly, the best thing about it being a warlock, you don't have a lot of slots, but if you can get a hold of some free extra little spells that won't cost you anything, that's like a warlock's fucking dream, if I remember right. So, this is kind of...
already learned Hex, but it's good that I can just use it whenever for free.
That is true. Well, if I'll give you the option of this because you already had it learned. If you want to, you can either keep it on there so you can also use it in a spell slot form, or you can just replace it with a different spell if you wish. I'm not gonna make you hold on to the spell when you already have one of it. That is up to you as a player. Because I hate for you to have a duplicate spell for no reason. Now. She will look to you and just go, before I have you depart, is there anything else that you need? She just kind of lets out a small laugh and just goes, well, Ublex, I hate to tell you, but I'm already taken.
Whoa!
You're taken?
I'm already taken. Thank you, though. Perhaps another day. If things ever go awry.
Does you have a girlfriend?
Who?
Can't take.
And you would see her just go, alright, have a good day. And she'd snap her finger, and you would swirl back into this reality. As you would also feel like as if she was able, while you were there, she removed all the water out of you. So she wasn't able to remove the slime, but she removed the water out of you while you were in her domain.
Dude.
So, you only have the slime mass left in you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you lost like, I think that was an extra like 1.5 foot, if I remember right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But now you have that out of the way. So you can start heading back up to the group and you can go meet up with them.
Fucking go.
Let's
Bro
fucking
has
go.
cooked.
We have cooked.
Excellent.
Alright. So as you guys would meet up, I'm going to ask one last time to make sure that everything is good to go on this. Is there anything else you want to do on the island before we leave? Because I'm going to be honest, this is probably going to be your last shot to be able to do anything before I start having you guys depart.
There's nothing left.
There's nothing I could think of.
Alright. I'm going to make sure that I have everybody's thing here. Alright. So you guys are going to start heading over to the little beach here. And as you guys start heading over to the beach, you would realize the slimes have, once again, duplicated. While you did get rid of the thing that was creating the slimes, all the slimes that were in the cave that didn't fight, like the ones that were making way for Ublex, some of them seem to have like basically made their way onto the shore now. So before there was I think only 5, and as you can see, there's now way more than 5. There is 4, 7, 9, 10. There are 10 slimes guarding your guys' boat, your little rowboat.
Oh, how convenient.
Upon seeing you, the group, they would all look to you, or more specifically, I guess technically Ublex in this matter, as they were following Ublex specifically. They would look to Ublex, and in Jiggle, they would just go, welcome back. It's a simple just welcome back.
I jiggle back and tell them I'm leaving. My wiggles.
You would see that they kind of just like droop down a little, and they kind of just like look, they like droop down a little bit, and then you see them just jiggle so soon.
Why, my dear friends, a journey awaits me. A journey of famine.
They would look back to you and just jiggle and go, we will help you get back to your home at least. And they would surround the rowboat. And when you get on, they will push you back to the boat.
Thank you, green fruit sentient moving
Yes.
beings?
Yes, thank you. Thank you for the guarding the boat. Yes.
Hell yeah. They know what you guys say. Obviously you won't know what they say back to you except Ublex, but they're just saying Jiggle, you're welcome.
It's okay.
They would also, actually real quick, they would also just kind of like jiggle over and just let you know that, hey, your little fish friend already went back to the boat.
Okay.
So two of them will be working together to swim and act as essentially a lifeguard for Yori, because there's only space for 3 people on the boat, unless someone else wants to be riding on a slime back to the boat.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, otherwise it'll be Yori's riding back. But you guys will head back to the ship, as they will essentially act as like propellers and just start pushing the rowboat, so you guys won't have to even row.
Okay, that's convenient.
As we're getting pushed, Kronos was gonna say kind of out of nowhere, would you guys believe me if I told you that slime monster back there may have given me an idea recently on how to use my fruit powers?
Yes. What? Yes. What's the idea?
See, the thing is, I want to tell you, but if my
Then you have to
theory is
kill me?
right, I'm pretty sure I couldn't physically handle it. I'm gonna maybe try again a little later in the future, though.
You see one of the slimes poke its head up and just jiggle. So, yeah, they're listening. But at least you got an idea. You guys will continue to get over there. So you guys will get to the boat, and they will essentially, you guys won't have to worry about getting the rowboats back up without having to climb out of the rowboats. You see that the 8 that are pushing the rowboat forward will essentially lift the rowboat back up onto the boat.
This must look really
Onto the
weird
ship.
to everyone else.
Oh yeah, it's probably the like oddest thing, like honestly. I'm going to drag you guys over so you guys can see the boat. There we are. Cool. So as you can see here, yeah, they would like all 8 of them basically act like an elevator essentially. 2 of them like wrap up on like 2 different ends of the rails, and the other like 6 just start like using the other slime's bodies to like pull themselves up and lift the boat up. As they would lift the rowboats back up. And you would see, I'm going to rearrange your tokens here real quick. You guys are coming up from the right side of the ship here. So where's Usagi at? There he is. There's Usagi. We have Yori up here who's getting lifted up on the side, a little bit more like over here on like the top deck area. And we have, who's am I forgetting? Ublex, yes. We have Ublex's over there. You would see that Korori's like kind of standing near the kitchen doorway. Benjamin's still on the crow's nest. You have Mr. Whiskers up on the top deck with Shindale. The Navy person is just kind of standing there still. You don't see, Kodama. And, you still have, Gildart at the wheel. And you see him just kind of, Benjamin just look in confusion at this slime elevator as the rowboat is fully put back onto the ship.
Very convenient, isn't it?
As Chrono is like the first one that hops out of it and boards the ship, he's just gonna go, "Ahoy, everyone! No one's dead yet in the last 2 days or so, right?"
Not that I know, unless he like takes a second glance back to Corey. Is someone dead? No, I don't think so. Nobody's dead.
Cool. I'm asking that for no reason whatsoever. Turns out you were right, Benjamin. There were things on the island. Green Ublexes. He says, he points to the slime elevator, or if they're like shuffling away back to the island or something like that.
Oh, right. So the slimes were right. Okay, well that's good to know that at least I wasn't, losing it. I see that they're still with you. Is this a new pet of yours?
Chrono's just gonna turn to you, Ublex, and just say, Yeah, I mean, you've basically established yourself as some kind of leader to them. What's your plan here exactly, Ublex?
So we have unpaused. Issa had just BRB'd when Dylan had said that question.
Yeah, might be.
Yeah, no. It's fair. It's fair. You didn't see the text.
My eyes don't work.
Yeah. So basically, he had asked what your plan was with the slimes, essentially. Because they kind of see you as a leader to a degree, or at least that's the way he worded it. What's your rebuttal of that? What's your reply to that?
I'm a big dog around here at the top G. That's who I am.
Okay, gotcha. So, what are you doing with the slimes?
I'm doing like, like, it's up to the captain if he wants to slime or not. Cause like
You also don't have to take the whole group if like you're like opposed to a whole people. Like
Okay,
there
I
are
promise
options
I'm not
here.
trying to be a dick, but the reason why Chrono probably wouldn't let the slimes onto the ship, and I'm speaking purely in character, is that he would just be really grossed out at the slime trails left all over the ship, basically.
Oh, so I can actually, real quick, I'll answer this actually about something on that.
Oh.
So it was mentioned before that the slimes, they whenever they go over something, if they're trying to clean stuff, which is what they were doing at the shore, they're essentially cleaning the shore. They suck it up and just, dissolve it. They don't leave a trail. Same thing with Ublex. Ublex doesn't leave a trail either. If that is an actual problem, I will throw that out there.
Okay, Issa, do you want these slimes with us in some way?
I feel like that would be
A
end
lot.
of mine.
A lot, bro.
So that's a yes, basically.
Oh,
You want big numbers.
oh
You
no.
want to have a large queue.
Well, at least we don't have to worry about feeding them.
That is true, actually.
Well,
It could be our own garbage disposal.
That's an option.
well, okay, I'm gonna throw something out there.
Or bodily
So
waste.
do you guys remember
be a-
that
that could be an
prison
efficient-
area
could be an
where we
efficient-
found giant crab guy at?
It could be an efficient method of Sorry, what?
Do you guys remember that prison area in the ship that we found the crab guy in?
Yes.
And how it was littered with a bunch of bugs and stuff like that?
Yes.
Gonna throw them
I
there.
mean, could just have them live there. They could just work on the bugs if they wanted to.
You would see them.
Hell yeah.
You see them jiggle in excitement.
I just shrug. Well, they could also assist in dealing with bodily waste, evidence.
Yeah, and I mean,
Oh.
if we ever get
Yeah.
bored, I mean, who's gonna expect like 8 slimes coming out of nowhere just to live? Like,
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
can be on the ship and protect it while we're gone.
actually, yeah, that could be true. We wouldn't have to designate an important NPC to watch the ship while we, Yeah.
Character NPC.
This is true. You would
The only
technically be
problem
able.
with
Hmm?
the only problem with that is if there are certain people that I would rather not be eaten, if that is possible.
That's something.
Are they
that y'all
going to be
gotta-
able to differentiate, or
no, that's a good point, actually.
I feel as though having the beat janitors would probably be more.
Wait, I just got another really stupid idea.
And that
Yeah.
would be
So, what if they just kind of attach themselves to the side of the ship? And hear me out. If
What?
we ever get into like a ship battle and like, let's say they get like attack us with a cannonball or something like that, what if like they just kind of like group together to like absorb the cannonball?
I'm not sure if they're fast enough to do that.
So
What?
technically
Could
they
work.
could. Yeah, the DM. I'll let you know. Technically they could because there's 10 in total. There was 8 that brought the ship up. The other 2 brought Yori up because separate. Remember?
Right.
Technically, 5 of them could clump up together to make like sludge enough of a mass to like a thick enough of a mass to like be able to slow a cannonball if it hit them. But that means they'll probably be merging themselves. So essentially you'll lose 10 slimes, but you have 2 big guys.
I don't know how you would feel about that, Issa, but that still could be useful because we would have a way to defend ourselves against cannonball shots if they hit us.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, and then we could just have them come on the board, as Reed said, if we just ever need janitor duty.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's a good plan.
I will also point out something else that
Let's keep that.
There's also, alright, so y'all are keeping them. I will also throw out something to you guys. This is also like a tactic that you guys could use with them if you wish.
Okay.
Technically speaking, the like the lower deck where you have the cannons stored, there would be openings, windows where cannons would be. If you wanted to be able to like let them do the janitorial just like passively, then when you guys get in like a fight, you could just use a bonus action to call them out, and they could just go through the fucking windows and then just cling onto the walls.
Okay.
That was a
and
very
then
interesting idea.
to kind of make sure that concern of yours, Reed, doesn't happen, Ooblix could just I don't
Tell them
know,
not to eat
like
people.
if any of the slimes attempt to eat any of the crew members, just threaten to eat them if they bother trying.
I'm more
I think
concerned. I'm more
Put the fear
concerned.
of God in them, basically.
I'm more concerned about the one specific. I'm more concerned about the one specific Navy officer that I would rather not have die.
I mean, I feel like Ooblix could easily command them to make sure they don't die, if in a fight.
They would jiggle back.
Fine.
Good.
You have a feeling they probably said yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we settled then?
It appears so.
Anyways, getting back, I'm just going to assume some kind of like in-character dialogue happened while that's going on, and then after it's done, Colonel would just kind of turn back to Benjamin and says, "So, log post is reset, right? If it hasn't, that would suck."
Luckily for us, fuck my life. My accent. Right. So, yes, it has, luckily for us. I don't know how long it's gonna be till we get to the next island, because this is off the path.
Makes sense.
So we'll have to get ourselves all back onto the natural path of things, and then from there we'll be able to make it. So it'll take us a little bit longer than what it naturally would have. But we'll get there eventually. I'm guessing maybe like 10 days. Maybe 10 days. Maybe a little
Sounds
bit longer. Yeah. But
Follow-up question. Is that shark that Ooblix and Mollis found the other day still good?
oh yeah. Karori and I took turns and kinda turned it into an insane amount of jerky.
Perfect.
Oh, good.
Because otherwise it's not gonna last long.
Okay.
Yes.
Last question, I swear. No, like, terrible emergencies the captain should be aware of or anything, right? I know I was kind of slacking recently. I'm going to try to change that.
Not that I know of. Right. Was there anything? Unless something's flown under my radar, I don't think so.
Okay. I want everyone to go ahead and get ready to start sailing. Benjamin, I'm gonna need to talk to you privately for a minute.
All right, I gotcha. Hey, Karori, can you take over for a bit? I've gotcha.
Yeah, basically the general idea is just like Kronos just kind of trying to be like, show everyone being like, all right, depression over, ready to be a leader. None of that sad shit earlier.
Good.
That was kind of the whole point of that dialogue.
Hell yeah. Oh man.
Alright, do you want to go ahead and knock that out?
We can. Nobody else is saying anything, so let's knock it out.
So as Chrono and Benjamin go into the captain's quarters, Chrono's gonna turn, kind of sit down, kind of get into like one of those hands kind of together, kind of like leaning forward, shoulders up kind of positions. You know, like when you really need to like listen to someone and it's important kind of deal.
Yeah.
And he'll just say, "So, you ran into Asmodeus again."
Asmodeus?
Wait, shit. What was the name of the shade? Fuck, I forgot.
Asmodeus.
Wait, the
I-
shade. Limius. Limius. It was Limius.
Oh, Lemmius, right. Okay, yeah. I wasn't too sure who that was before. Okay, yes, Lemmius.
I don't know where Asmodeus came from. Anyway.
Well, that's not something I'd like to hear. Though not too surprised, considering his reputation. Right, what happened?
So, I mean, I wasn't sure if he was gonna be a problem, but after what happened yesterday, I'm reasonably sure that this could mean bad things down the line. On the
Right.
island, turns out it was mostly uninhibited. There were green ooblexes and mostly wolves. And there was a human, a celestial summoner by the name of Jiro that we met. He asked us to help clear out that big slime monster, which, well, long story short, is also partially how Ublex found all those other slimes, because the monster was causing them. And then the freaky, icy person made their appearance.
Oh.
I really don't know how to best say this next part, because I already feel awful enough already, but I might have overreacted a bit to some of what they're saying. Chrono's getting like really flushed as he says this part, kind of like he's incredibly embarrassed, needless to say.
Yeah.
And he'll add, so they've been keeping an eye on us, and they told us to let Curry go because of something stupid like how she isn't as hardened or dark as the rest of us. And I snapped at him. I told him to shut the fuck up. And he just killed Jiro in less than a second. Less than a second, Benjamin.
Right. Remember how I said that if I didn't follow through with my end of the bargain, I would die? That's what it would have been of me. That's what would have happened with me. He's not one to be trifled with.
I mean, you know that I've been struggling. I mean, don't get me wrong, ever since me and Malice got out of that prison, there have been good times, but it's been really hard trying to understand myself again. And when he was saying all of that stuff, the idea of someone controlling me again after being in prison for so long, I just couldn't help it. And because of my dumbassery, I got an innocent person killed. I mean, for God's sakes, Ben, they spent their whole life on that island without anybody, and they were planning to sail soon. I really wanted to help them sail somewhere, because I know what it's like to have most of your life where you're just kind of trapped, but anyways, this Lymia's person, I don't suppose you know if it's possible to kill him.
Oh boy. Right. It might be possible. He's been around for a long time. There's records of him interfering in multiple historical events, like the Rosalna, Titan rebellion against their, their tyrant at one point. He's shown up multiple times throughout history. So I know anybody's killable. Fact is, he's a shade, meaning that he's already been killed once. It would be possible to kill him, but I don't think that'll be an easy task.
I'm going to go on a limb here and assume that if you kill someone and they come back, it's incredibly difficult to kill them again.
Well, it's more the fact of... Let's put it this way, right, Mike? Let's put it this way.
Okay.
He has been around for eons, and throughout his track record, throughout history, when he has been mentioned, he's always been mentioned when he was a shade. Meaning that when he was a human, he probably died because he was weak. Meaning that most likely, considering his strength now, this might be just pure and absolute spite. Shades, from what I know, are normally... There's different forms of undead, right?
Yeah?
The best way to put it is that, ghosts are the passive people, the people that came back to life simply because they held on to it because they didn't finish a goal or something. Whereas shades, they are people that are... They are undead that have held on to life out of anger or spite or revenge, and they will not fade till they get that. Whereas revenants are pure anger for no reason, and they will not fade. So he has something he's aiming for. Thing is, I don't know what.
It must be pretty big if he's been around the world this long.
It concerns me as well, because if he's still going around, and he's been dead for a long time, then that means that whatever he's going for is stronger. It might be a god. It could be... God, I'm trying to think of anything that's fucking that strong. Maybe the Navy's leader? Maybe that's why he started the pirate cruise? No, but... God.
I see.
That's too many variables, too many possibilities of what it could be. Fucking hell. Right, so... Let me get this straight, because this is something I need to understand. And I'm with you throughout everything, no matter what. My question to you, as a captain, are you declaring war on him?
Okay. First of all, before I answer that, when he was asked about why he set me and Mollis free, he said something about... It was something weird, like, do I need a motive for everything? Chaos, whatever, but... If what I understand is correct, I think he could be lying. Because to me it sounds like maybe he's the type to have reasons for things that probably most of us couldn't even bother to guess.
With him being a shade, he definitely has some form of reason. Most likely he probably just didn't want to tell you. For what reason, I don't know why.
And secondly, I don't know what you've known about me, Ben, about before I ate the fruit, and well, you know the rest, but
Yes.
growing up, I used to be kind of pathetic. I mean, I had pretty much almost no self-confidence. There was pretty much the only people that were there for me other than my parents was Samantha and of
Your
course
mentor.
my mentor.
Yes.
And I did manage to turn things around for a while, but I've always despised the idea of being a violent person at the time. So much so that even after I got stronger and I could actually handle myself against some of the local bullies, I would usually end up running away just because, I mean, just because you got power doesn't mean you have to hurt others. You know what I mean?
That's true.
But after everything that's happened and watching a man die because of me, I don't want to have enemies, but there are just some things I can't just stand by and watch anymore. If it's my fate to follow in my dad's footsteps and master this power of mine, then hell yeah, I want to kick his ass!
Alright.
I don't care how long it takes. I'm going to figure it out. But if lately has taught me anything, I gotta finish moving on from everything that's happened for the past 300 years, so I'm going to go spend my time meditating, and I mean really meditating. So, but I'll still be here if anyone needs help, obviously.
I gotcha, mate. I'd recommend you do two things that's coming to mind with the whole conversation.
Okay.
You mentioned Korori and how he said, a bunch of things about that.
Yeah.
Listen, we've had very different people recruiting, for the ship and for the crew, and I think that's grand. I think it's grand to see everybody coming together trying to make a crew that has at least one main goal to a degree. But I think what he was saying, moreover, was, at least this is the 2 cents that I can pull from what you've told me, maybe he was aiming more for the fact of alignments and how people are standing, because, and not in the wrong way, but if he brought up Korori is essentially like a 180 from, let's say, Shindale. Shindale is a, lawful evil, and she's not. From what I've been able to gauge, she's almost like a neutral good. Clashing alignments can lead to, arguments within a crew or a dysfunction, and some crews can make that work, some crews can make those clashes work fine, but most crews crumble like that.
You could have said that in a less creepy way the other day.
That's his way of speaking, sadly. The other bit, you're still trying to find yourself. And while I won't say you aren't to blame, because you chose to make a rash decision, I will say that you're also still trying to figure out how to react. You were chained up for many years, imprisoned for many years. Your emotional state and who you are as a person are almost unknown to you. You are essentially running around with blind rage. What I would recommend, and this might help out with the crew a bit as well, it doesn't have to be today, it doesn't have to be tomorrow, but at some point I'd recommend having everyone sit down and trying to understand what people's goal is while they're here. Because some people have been flat out obvious. Mollis has talked about wanting to take down the government. You've kind of just been running rampant. Not too sure what you're aiming for anymore. I don't know what Ublex is aiming for or what Yusaki's aiming for. And, well, for part of the crew, if you look at Korori, she says that she wanted to deal with the government. That's all I know about her, and Shindale hasn't said a word.
Well, you sure about Usagi? No offense, but he seems to be kind of an open book, actually.
I've never talked to the man, only twice.
Take my word for it, then. But anyways, please continue.
But you see what I'm saying. I know with Pike, he's been a little bit more open. I know that he wants to deal with the government, but the fact is, if we don't have people laying down what they want to do, how do we expect to work as a crew?
Well...
understanding each other's goals, and knowing how we can help each other reach our goals would be beneficial.
Well, as you're saying, yeah, you're right that I do think you're right about me kind of running around with blind rage because, I mean, sorry, it's just that I've never been one to play the victim card, but I don't know, I think after the government trained me up and killed my parents, that snapped something in me, or took something from me that I don't know if I'll ever get back, but
Yes.
I do know that I want to get stronger to save Samantha. I want to get stronger so I can finally take down the bastards who wronged me. And I want to get stronger to take down that icy son of a bitch.
Fair enough, mate. One thing at a time, obviously. I think by the time you get strong enough to handle and get Samantha out of that pickle, if that's possible, and I do think there's gotta be a way. It only makes sense as part of your power to begin with, but maybe by the time you can handle that, you'll probably be able to handle him. That's my guess, though.
Good point. Alright.
Oh, right. Before we handle anything else, we need to bring it up to the crew. Well, the rest of the crew's already seen it, but you saw Ublex, you already kind of told Maulus about what happened because he came in, blind rage. I don't know what. I'm guessing the whole thing with you and the Shade got him angry. He came here pretty angry. Nobody said a word.
I like to think Chronos just kind of like rubs his cheek a little bit from where he got clotheslined from yesterday. When he brings Wallace up.
Yeah, I don't feel like it takes much for him to be like, never mind, I don't need to ask. Either way, we got a newspaper. So if the three of you want to sit down, I can go grab it from my, bedroom and we can go talk about that. Because there's some interesting information, and not to mention wanted posters have come in yet again. So that would probably be a good thing to handle.
Benjamin?
Mm-hmm.
Chrono becomes dead-faced, and he will just say, "Is my name on there?"
He kind of looks at you.
Oh boy.
And he just it is that he's trying not to crack a smile. Because he knows how you handled it last time. He just go, yeah.
Motherfucker!
Hell?
Oh man.
Okay, yeah, let's go read the newspaper, everyone.
All right.
Let's end it on that note.
All right.
Wait, what's on the newspaper? Look.
You guys. So he's gonna go grab the newspaper, and so you guys would get out of the captain's quarters. You guys would go meet up up on the deck, so you guys can go look through the newspaper here. And I'm gonna go and get the wanted sheets first before you get to see that. There's a few things that showed up and popped up.
Great.
First up, we have some little updates up on your guys' wanted posters, and we're gonna knock that out first. So you
worth more money?
Possibly. Maybe it went down. You never know.
Went down?
Yeah.
How would that work? You just do a lot of good deeds.
You did too many good deeds. Now they're like, well, I don't know, guys.
You just start an orphanage. They just take out the bounty well, he is supporting the local community.
He is supporting the local community, guys. I don't know if it would be okay to just...
God, that's a really funny thought to be One Piece characters doing it's like a Santa nice or naughty list situation.
God, that's funny. Okay, so the first one is Ublex that you see. You see Ublex, and it has now been changed from Anomaly to Slime, and you went from 50 rupees to 75.
Let's go!
Let's go! Yeah! Yeah! It says dead or alive. And then you have Usagi's, which is the next one that you pull up. And it says, dead or alive, Usagi D. Dorobo at 60,000 rupees.
How much is that compared to the previous one?
I think you were at 45,000 if I remember right. So you went up by 15,000.
Yes, 15.
Yes,
oh,
sir.
That's an extra 15,000. I wonder if Chicas had something to do with that. Hopefully not. Anyway.
Possibly. Next up is Mollis, which he's not here to hear it, but I'll tell him after session then, I guess. Or if he rejoins, then I'll retell him. But Mollis, now at 85,666.
Wait, I'm sorry, say that again?
85,666.
Okay, I wanted to make sure I heard that right. That's funny.
Yeah, because Oni is.
Right.
And
yeah.
we have Chrono at 100,001 rupees.
Chrono is just staring at his wanted poster. He has not made like a single facial expression or anything like that. He's just staring at it.
Oh man. You'd also recognize a few other ones that are interesting to you, because there's more wanted posters that came in here that are not part of your crew and are also part of your crew that have now been in there. I did not have enough time to make bounty posters for all your crew, and also, to be honest, I'm going to be honest, that's an insane amount of work. And
honestly.
Yeah, so what I'll do so you guys can keep up with your crew's bounties, I will basically just like on the Discord crew channel, I will just like update it beside their names. As Benjamin has gotten himself a bounty, as he now has a bounty of 35,000. As he did actively fight Taka, so that did put some numbers on him because of that. Gildart, who single-handedly fought a Navy base during the other fight at Solus, while two robbers stole from them. Gee, I wonder who. He has now also made a name for himself. At, for some reason, for some unknown fucking reason, 55,000.
Huh.
Yeah, there might be some other stuff from the past.
Fair enough.
And then there's Pike, who, because of not only him being a Grieger, but a Grieger prince, and being a mermaid, and also assisting in the escape of someone who should have been executed, and then joining a pirate crew, he has gotten another 55,000 rupees.
Oh boy.
Yori does not have one. Karori, who actively helped in the fight against, getting the Tiefling free, which, by the way, I'll remind you that Tiefling was from the Global Rebellion. She is at a whopping 35,000 as she helped with the kidnapping of a very specific lieutenant.
Alright.
Yes. Shindale, who is a criminal. It is that thing of he was spotted and escaping with you guys. He probably wasn't a very well-known one, but, considering he just joined up with a pirate crew and was seen escaping with you guys, brings his new bounty to 30,000. And Mr. Whiskers.
I hope it's just, like, 200,000.
I'm about to tell you, man, because let me give you the charges on this man. So,
wait, what?
He has assaulted Taka before, which is a Navy, detective. During the fight, as he was the one that actually drove her away and stopped her from killing Benjamin. He has caused carnage on multiple islands. He has attacked multiple Navy ships during the whole, escapade at Niue. God, dude. And he has also, you guys didn't know about this till now because of the charges, he threatened an admiral.
Wait, what? Holy shit!
So, he is at above the captain at 105 and 666. So 105,666 rupees.
That's almost impressive.
Yup. Oh god, so that is where those stand.
Or...
Oh, what'd you say?
you get to Yori yet?
He said that she had no bounty poster.
Wow, that's lame.
Yeah. But it's because she hasn't run into any of the actual prompts. She was like the one person that was still stealthing during the whole like when you guys were escaping thing.
Oh.
So she
That's
actually
good.
never got seen. So
That's
yeah,
good. That's very convenient.
Yep. She's the only one that hasn't been seen by the Navy yet.
Excellent.
Then there's some ones that you guys will get to know that are very interesting to you guys. So I'm going to kind of pair this in with the information. I'm going to see the wanted posters as I bring up the information that is connected to these things.
Okay.
So as you remember, there are pirate lords. They've hired a new pirate lord.
Oh,
the final
correct?
pirate lord. Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm going to pull up her name. This does not get any image because it is just the name and nothing more. And because this pirate is not that like well known, there wouldn't be like a history check. You would have ever heard about this person. But there's some person named Ash Melia. Who is like the only information that has been mentioned is that she was starting to get herself a name as she was literally burning down literal villages and navies, like navy bases, and they just managed to convince her to, how about you work with us and we don't have to fight. So Ash Melia is now part of the 5 warlords of the sea. Next thing, do you remember a dear man named Halamar Rostina?
Vaguely.
Vaguely as well.
Yeah, the Blink pirate.
Oh, motherfucker.
Oh, right, one of my many arch nemesis.
Did he become a warlord? Oh, fuck me.
He did.
He is a warlord, yes.
Oh.
This was mentioned a while back, as his bounty poster has now been made, as he is at, and I actually made one for him, 175,500 rupees.
Okay, so clearly we're gonna try and kill this guy, right?
Yep.
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
That's the plan. That's the plan.
I figured as much.
Question is, would we be able to turn in the bounty and not get arrested ourselves?
It's possible.
You'll just give Kareri like some like fake glasses and a fake mustache.
So
Yori could probably do it. Yori could probably do it. She doesn't have any.
Yeah.
So reminder to you guys real quick. Pirates can technically take bounties. Because the bounty people are not run by the Navy. The bounty people are a separate organization.
Okay.
So normally the way bounty posters go is that there are 2 ways that people get a bounty on their head. Either one, the Navy puts it out there, and that's why the ones that are put down by the Navy have on the bottom right, Global Navy written on the bottom of the sheet. But also, like, let's say a kingdom wants someone dead. Like someone pissed off a king or something like that. Then it'll have whatever kingdom it's from, like with their signature written down, like on the bottom right. So it's like basically just one giant organization that just kind of takes in money and like basically they'll pay you to deal with people, and then it's funded by basically every island that has like their like a station. If you see a bounty like connected within like a bounty like area built into one of the taverns, then that island is probably helping fund that organization. But you would see, and I will have, you know what? Actually, this is actually infamous enough for you guys to know. Everyone here can roll me a history check, even Ublex.
All right.
Okay. Rolling history.
That's a 21.
21, all right. What do the others get?
1 second. That's an 11.
An 11. All right. So you actually, weirdly enough, like, it's barely above the DC. What did you get, Issa? I just heard you.
Hi, Anya.
Hey, Anya.
I got a 9.
And you rolled a 9. Okay. So we're going over bounty posters right now, Anya. So, oh boy, Issa, you weirdly enough, despite only getting a 9, you're like, I think I recognize the name, but you don't really recognize much else. Like, you just recognize the name Scraphead. Now, Usangi, you know that the name Scraphead is, like, kind of connected to a bit of wealth. Like, you don't know the full information, but you kind of know, like, this dude's gotten himself known for, like, some of his treasure, essentially.
Okay.
Dylan.
Aye.
With that 21, you remember a lot about this guy. In fact, this is what you know. Scraphead is known as Captain Adam Holmes. He is the captain of the Scrap Pirates, born and raised on the Rustbreaker Island. He would collect any valuables he found as a kid and hide them within his house. So when he left his island, there has been a thing about Rustbreaker Island that has kind of gotten people's attention, which is the fact that all the stuff that he stored for the many years before he finally embarked onto the sea, he put and buried into like a random area on the island. And because of his growing fame, people have been searching like hell for that treasure, but nobody's been able to find it. Scraphead. So because of this, because of Scraphead and his fame, Rustbreaker Island has begun to become a tourist town. Essentially.
Oh, that means plenty of people rob blind.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now here's the fun thing. Because of his growing fame, he's, kind of continuously grown up in his, money and stuff. He has now been declared as the 4th Emperor of the Sea.
What?
As he is the 4th Pirate Emperor. As he now has a bounty of 4,135,000 rupees. Adam Holmes. As he now has a bounty up on his head. But there's a little bit of mentioning about someone that you would care about that seems to be connected with him.
Okay.
As it has been mentioned that his right-hand man has also had a bit of a boost to his bounty poster. And remember a guy named Nash D?
Yeah, I think I might know that name.
Your mentor. As he has now gotten a bounty, his right-hand man of Adam Holmes, of 1,350,000 rupees. As Nash D, your old mentor, has now been recognized as the right-hand man of the Emperor of the Sea.
I like to imagine Chrono, as he sees us, he kind of grins a little bit because it's like, yeah, that's my mentor. But he rubs his cheek and says, well, if his punches still continue to hurt like hell all the way back then, I'm frankly not surprised he's worth over 1 million rupees.
Yep. And that is all the information that's kind of like mainly interesting as of now. There is one other thing. It has been mentioned that there has been sightings of around a very specific island that you guys have actually passed by at one point. Remember Solus?
Mm-hmm.
There's been sightings of a fire titan walking around that area.
Oh, god damn
And
it.
a growing concern has begun.
If anyone asks, not our fault.
We left no footprints. It is the ocean. You can't leave footprints in the ocean.
There is speculation that it is one of the Titans from the original Titan War. As you know, there was 3 Titans in that war. One of them perished, one of them cried at the end, which caused a whole new sea to form. And the other one was the Murderer. And it's it's expected that this might be the one that killed, as it is known as let me re-pull up the name actually, because it is not Revenant. Hold on. Skibbity boo, skibbity back. I don't want to tell you wrong, you fucking dummy. Let me pull it up. Where the fuck did my information go? What the hell? Where'd it go? Where you go? Go where, go where? What the hell? What the hell? Revelation, sorry. as it has been recognized as a Titan, Revelation. Which means the end.
Very spooky.
Yes. Man. But yeah, so that's all of the information that you get from the newspapers. Everything else is just like, there's like an ad on there saying buy one, get one free, at some like random island that nobody's heard about.
Buy one, get one free.
Yeah, buy one get one free. It doesn't say what it's selling.
Oh.
and then there's like another guy with buy one get one free. Yeah, buy one cabbage get one cabbage for free. It has like a picture of like this like horribly drawn guy standing beside like a little carriage with cabbages sticking out of it, and it's this really like demented smile.
Acrid!
Hey, Acrid,
Oh, good.
welcome. He's just woken up. I saw what Ani was typing, saying she was gonna try to wake him up. I figured you probably passed out, and I was correct on this. Did you get some proper sleep, Matt? Because you said before earlier today that you only had like 2 hours.
You know, I just woke up.
Okay, it's fine. I mean, it's been a chill session, so it's not like you missed anything, so I'm really not mad about it. But you see, the Ooblex that is dancing on the bar tavern is. I'm not joking about that. I have put Ooblex on the bar tavern. They're having a good time, man, okay? I've sent screenshots into Pirate Talk.
Yes. There you go.
Listen, we gotta keep that viewer retention somehow, Teef. But yeah, so I'll go and let you know, I'll fill you in real quick. Essentially to kind of like buy time for like, in case, because I didn't know if you're going to be showing up for session today, I just said that Mollis basically just stormed over to the ship overnight rather than sleeping at the house like everybody else did. You just went straight to the ship, didn't talk to anybody, and just kind of went to bed. So they are back. It's been like, you guys are like, oh yeah, right, you guys, so... If you look at the Roll20 map, there's 2 giant slimes. There's 10 slimes on the shore. They asked the 10 slimes to merge into 2 big ones. They're gonna act as defense to the sides of the ship if any cannonballs hit. So they'll actually be able to like soften blows or possibly even push them back completely.
Yeah, I'm kind of proud of myself for coming up with that because that could come in so useful.
Yeah, there is also the chance, because it was mentioned before, that these things were like, at least the thing that was creating was trying to cause evolution of some sorts. So if you guys keep it around for long enough, this is me as a DM being upright with you guys, so you guys can understand. If you keep them around long enough, there's a shot that something could happen with them, like further with them.
Like Pokemon.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, technically, Pompeys have a possibility of doing that too, and Mollis does have a Pompey that he does have. So, but yeah, you probably have to get them to like certain areas to actually like get that to happen, most likely, or you probably need certain circumstances. But you never know. It's always worth keeping things like this around. But that being said, we went down some like wanted posters. Yours did go up, by the way, Acrid. Yours went up to. I will relook at it again, so I don't tell you the wrong amount. But yours went up to, I think it was 85,666. I'm gonna double check here. Let's see. Yeah, yours is at 85,666 rupees. The only people that are surpassing you in amount is Chrono and Mr. Whiskers. Which is wild.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, everything else has just been people just kind of talking. Ooblex isn't fat, they're just I did not see that chat earlier. Oh yeah, and Ooblex got a little bonus from their patron. But yeah. You guys have gone through the newspapers. Literally, it's just up to you guys what you guys want to do for this session. This is kind of just your guys' chill session.
Mm-hmm.
So,
actually, now that Acrid's here, I kind of want to go ahead and do what Benjamin suggested and just kind of have like a pirate meeting. Just kind of have everyone on the same page moving forward.
Oh, great.
Yeah, that sounds fine.
Alright. Yeah, I was thinking of maybe doing it later if by some chance Acrid woke up, but now that he's here, it's like, alright, I might as well go ahead and get this over with.
So he's gonna pull up. Do we have any lettuce?
Not right now. You just have shark meat. That's all you have, actually.
Why do you want to get high so bad?
I was hoping to. Smoke away the pain.
I mean, this isn't pain. This is just talking about goals and aspirations.
No, I meant for the immense trauma of. Actually, Sagi doesn't really care. Not as much as everyone else here apparently. Okay, but we just met that guy.
I mean, it's still an innocent person.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, it's also the principle of it all that he
Well,
could
yeah.
kill any one of us if he wanted to.
Well, yeah, that's what he's more worried about than you know what I mean. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
yeah,
I
I
get you.
I can delete Jiro's sheet. Let me do that real quick.
Okay, don't rub it in, man.
No, I just saw it. I just saw it. I was pulling up everybody's character sheets just in case if I need them. So I just remembered. Right. So yeah, you guys can sit down and have your little meeting. I guess kick it up since you're the guy that's actually starting up this little meeting here.
So, as Chrono kind of brings everyone together, just kind of out on the main deck or something like that, he'll... God, okay, how should I start this? He'll just go, so, hello everyone. Now, I feel like... How should I put this? Haven't had a proper minute to really talk things out as a pirate crew. To be more blunt, I don't, or for lack of a better term, maybe we should all get on the same page moving forward. So far we've had to deal with Navy, giant slime monsters, and now a fire titan that almost murdered us. Well, you know. And I've been doing some thinking, and Chrono's gonna take a quick look at Benjamin, and then he's also gonna take a quick look at Malice, but it's a little bit longer than Benjamin.
Oh boy.
And he'll just go, so I'll just go ahead and cut to the point. If you want to be pirates, what do you want to accomplish while you're on this boat? Because I'll go ahead and let you know right now moving forward that I'm not 1000% sure that I thought things would be fine for a while, but I think things are going to continue to be dangerous, so we need to establish right now who's ready to be here for the long run, or maybe this isn't for them. So, I'll go ahead and go first. I have goals that involve violence. A lot of violence, to be completely blunt. I need to get strong enough because I want to eventually figure out who in the government had the nerve to murder my parents. And we might... Oh gosh, how should I put this? When me and Malice got broken out of prison, we were broken free because of a demigod by the name... I forgot their name, let me just go ahead. Limius. Okay, there we go.
Limius, yes.
And, well, how should I put this? They could kill all of us right now if they wanted to. And they're not going to, but they have the power to, and they just happen to kill someone I like. And I have every intention to get strong enough to kill him. And I know by doing this, I'm going to possibly put you all in danger if you don't get stronger along with me. If you have a goal you want to complete while you're on this pirate crew, I promise I'm going to do whatever it takes to make sure I'll have your back as long as you'll have each other's. So, with that in mind, what do you lot want to do or complete while being pirates?
So, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to let the PCs go before the NPCs, because there's a lot of NPCs.
Fair enough. Oh, so that was a lot of information.
Yep.
Kronos just kind of turned to you, Malice, and says, by the way, you don't need to answer. I know you want to punch the government, and I'm okay with that.
Not hurt or move.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. The government's got to go.
I'm just here because y'all are heading for the Infernal Vault, and it's the biggest score I could ask for.
All right.
I don't particularly care about any higher goals as long as I get paid.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
Noble.
Besides, I'm pretty curious to learn more about this DDD person as well.
Not descended from him anyway. As far as I know. Anyway.
There's also Ublex. What you got, Issa?
Hey.
Yeah, you. Yeah, you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you. What you got?
Staying forever. I just need to figure out what happened with me.
That's valid.
I don't know what I am, Hank.
I mean, Ublex, you've been helping us out so much that... I mean, I get it. I get trying to figure out who you are, so don't worry about that.
I don't know if I'll find other blue people like me. I meant, like, green ones.
You would actually, when you say that, you would see that one of the big green slime blobs would just look to you and just go. It would jiggle, obviously, so you're the only one that fucking knows this. But like, it would just jiggle to you and just go, wait, hold on, I just realized, wait, so that's 5 of them. That's 2 feet each. So this thing's 10 foot wide, 10 foot tall. So the math, it's way more jiggling now. God, dude, that's wild. Okay, I did not think about the size of this thing now. Yeah, so
Shit.
it would just kind of shake to you and just kind of go in, you know, that language. Blue is special.
Mama special.
But
So now
Blue's
the
special.
NPCs.
You know blue?
oh wait, what'd you say, Issa? Sorry, 2 people talk at the same time.
Have you seen blue? What do you mean blue's special?
Blue is special. Blue is not common. Never seen blue.
I'm different.
You're built different. Oh man, but you would like going down the line.
Yeah, just to reiterate, just to reiterate, Chrono's just basically saying, okay, it's possibly gonna get dangerous from here forward. If we want to be pirates and accomplish your goals, do you want to stay on this ship, or do you think you have what it takes, or stuff like that?
Yep. You see Benjamin just kind of go, well, I think you already know what I'm doing, mate. We've already
no,
kind
no.
of, you know, sworn loyalty and, you know. I don't really have much else I can really do here, mate, and quite frankly, I already dropped my whole, like, you know, life of merchancy for the whole thing, as I became a god. I don't think I really have many choices here, quite frankly. Plus I swore that, like, you know, try and keep the lot of you safe, to your mom, so, kind of have a duty to do here. Really all I can say for that one. But, you just see Gildart kind of just go, I mean, you got rum. That's good enough for me. If you got rum, I'm helping.
Chrono's just gonna say, no judgment here.
Plus, hey, maybe I'll meet a good old friend or two every now and then. I know people around, so. What the fuck, why not? Pike would just kind of give you that solemn, that, like, nod, just go, I think you already know my answer, but Navy needs to pay. They put my people through quite literal hell before killing them. And that's something I cannot forgive.
And they will.
They will. And then you've got Yori, who just kind of like, she
Right.
stares at you, and like, it is like, you can see there is no thoughts behind those eyes. And she just kind of stares at you and just goes, were we supposed to have goals? I
mean,
I just kind of follow whoever, like, you know, whoever I find interesting, and then normally I just follow them until either they bore me or I, you know, die. Yeah, normally till they bore me, though. I haven't died yet.
I mean, you don't necessarily need a strong reason for living or doing anything really, but if you want to stay here just because you want to, then there's nothing wrong with that.
Alright, sounds good for me then. You'd see Karori just kind of look to you and just go, I think I somewhat made it obvious, but just in case, I'd like to deal with the government, if possible. They put my people under captivity, and quite literally made us, submit against their will. My whole island was taken over by them, and I'm not exactly crazy about it.
Karori, this might sound a bit weird, but let's say you managed to find the members of the Navy responsible for all that, and Chrono tries to kind of like adopt more of like a serious glare, considering what he took with the icy ghost bitch in mind, and just says, do you think you have what it takes to see that your revenge plan comes to fruition?
I would like to think so, but I can't say until I'm there. I've studied my father's magic for the longest time, but I also know that using it in combat and taking someone's life is different from actually engaging.
It is.
So I understand if you don't want me here. That is up to you.
No, it's not that. It's just that morally... How should I put this? You seem like a genuine good person, Karori. And I have a feeling, again, that the more we travel together, the more violent things are gonna get, and I just want to make sure that someone like you can learn how to effectively be a warrior. And if you're not sure, well, I'm sure I can help you out with that, if you need it.
I thank you for that. I'm hoping again that when the time comes that I can handle that, but I can never guarantee anything.
I understand.
You also have Shindale, who would just kind of look to you and just go, well, quite frankly, I joined because we were in a bit of a conundrum. And it was either I stayed on the island or I died.
Chrono eternally tries not to feel guilty because he knows he inadvertently dragged him into all that.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, the whole place is blown up.
Oh yeah, good point.
He would just go, quite frankly, there weren't many choices to be made at the time. I don't have any grudge with the Navy or really anyone. I just do the bidding of my god, that's it. He asks me to kill people, and I kill them. Simple as that. Following the god of death isn't exactly a comforting task.
Yeah, I mean, speaking as a player, what the fuck?
It's simple. When people avoid death too much, and they should have already died 7 times over, specifically 7, he'll send people of his monasteries to deal with that. You can only cheat death so many times before repercussions come to be.
Okay, I'm not 1,000% sure what to make of that, to be completely honest with you, but if you're good, then that's great.
It's fine with me. As long as I can handle my god, that is all that's needed. And you have one other person, Mr. Whiskers,
Oh, great.
who looks at you and goes, if there's catnip, I'm involved. That's it. If there's catnip, you got me. All I need is catnip. Catnip every day, baby. Catnip every day. You got fish? I got it. You got it. I got fish. We got fish here. That's all I need. Okay. That's your whole
After
crew,
that.
man.
Alright, after that...
Fucking cat.
I love how different some of these were. That's just like, yeah, well, Navy's got to pay for what they've done. Yeah, the Navy's enslaved my people. Yeah, you got some alcohol. I'm good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that catnip. Oh, freaking sweet. Who am I killing?
And then there's just me. Who's like, hey, I can get paid.
Yep.
I'm just fucking here.
Get paid. Get paid. Get paid. Get laid. What? I need to think of another word.
Get made. I don't know. I will say you also have people with very different backgrounds here, because you have royalty here. You have a guy that was a merchant, then a guard. You have actually, I don't think you guys even know what Gildart is still, or what he did in the past.
I mean, I know he's a dwarf at least, right?
Yeah, like you know he's a dwarf, but like I don't think you guys have ever actually talked to him about his past or anything.
I've attempted.
You have attempted, and I don't remember what was said to you back then. I'm gonna be honest.
It was forgotten.
Right. You have a fangirl that literally doesn't ever, probably has never had a job, most likely. It sounds like she's literally just been following people her whole life. You have a person that worked at a museum. You have a guy who literally works for the god of death. And you have a cat whose background was cat. So it's a very different mix of livelihoods.
Alright, just to kind of wrap this section up. I swear, this is gonna be like the big thing I want to do today, and then I'm gonna chill probably.
Fair.
And Chrono just say, alright. And as your captain, I vow that I'm gonna get so strong that I'm gonna make sure everyone on this ship is A-okay and doesn't regret joining on this adventure.
I vow for there to be catnip.
Which, speaking of which, I think the media was giving us a nickname, the Catastrophe Pirates, which, to be completely honest, I kind of like the sound of that. Kind of describes how my life's been so far. I don't know about the rest of you, but if that's what the world wants to call us, I say let's give them the absolute craziest pirate group they've ever seen in their life.
You hear Gildart just kind of chuckle at that and just go, well, might as well. The Navy gave it to us. Might as well live up to it. Nah, he's just fucking choking.
It baked? No, it doesn't work. I need a better slogan.
Anyways, you're still working on that, man.
Yes.
Great.
I'll think of something later.
You go
yes, that's in character.
Great.
This is difficult.
But yeah.
Do any of the NPCs say anything to that, or?
I mean, there was Gildart. Everyone else is more just like, it's like an acknowledgement of like, alright, you better. I'm kidding. Holding you to it. Alright.
Yep, that's fine by me. Alright,
Yep.
And with that, I'm going to go to a crow's nest and read one of those Celestial Summoning books.
It's time for a cat nap. You already had a cat nap. I need another one. You do not. Yeah, you can look into Celestial Summoning. So I'm gonna let you know. There is a special thing with that Celestial Summoning thing.
Okay.
So if you read into it enough, it will not take a level up to gain this bonus. This will be a separate thing. So if you read it enough, I'll like tell you the mechanics a little bit better later on, like as in DMs. But essentially, if you continue studying it, practicing it, you could eventually learn how to actually do not the proper Celestial Summoning class, but rather you might be able to get like a spell that'll allow you to do some very light summoning.
That's fine. I mean, I want to be able to. Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say it's also gonna be locked up to only one player being able to do that, because I don't want the whole crew to all learn summoning and suddenly I have to handle 4 different summons plus your pirate
You're
crew.
not gonna have to worry.
Don't worry, I can't summon because I sold my soul.
Yeah, you can't.
No problems. I really want to be the one to do it because it's like Chrono took Jiro's death the most personal. So
Yeah.
character-wise, or actually speaking as a player, I just think it'd be really cool if you just tried to take a piece of him as it goes along on this journey, basically.
That's fair.
You don't have to worry about that. There's no way Usagi would ever do it. It's too unstealthy.
Valid.
I mean, that's more for like when shit hits the fan. Like,
Okay, but he's trying to not have shit hit the fan.
fair enough.
Alright, now that I've taken
trying
up
to
most
steal
of the
things.
RP time, I'm gonna go use the bathroom really quick. I'll pop off.
Alright, gotcha. Alright, so guys, what we're gonna do is that when he comes in here, we're gonna pretend like we're not here, so that way he feels isolated. We're not gonna do that.
I haven't taken off my headphones. I heard that.
Damn, fuck, gotta be blasted. But now, is there anything anybody else wishes to do? This is still the first day of travel.
I need to try and let me think.
I'm letting you think. I'm letting you think like crazy. Your thinking right now is off the charts, actually.
I
mhm.
I have this. I believe I have this one key from like the last island. I wonder if I can make it into a. No, that's a stupid idea.
Yeah, the key was originally meant for that like basement area from before.
I know.
Yeah,
So I never got rid of it. So I could.
fair
I
enough.
have an idea. I'm gonna try and sell it as a skeleton key to some idiot later.
Fair.
What
Skeleton
do I do to
keys.
get it to look like one though? Oh wait, it has a skull on it.
It has the bottom half of the skull, so it has like the jaw essentially. There was
Well,
two
good enough.
keys. One had like the skull for like the eye and the nose and above. The other bit has the jaw. You have the jaws.
Well, that's good. Well, that's good enough.
Fair
That's
enough.
good enough. What's the way to? Something to do on this boat. I'm running out of things to train.
I mean, to be honest, it's just one of those things where I'm just throwing out there. Like, there's still NPCs if you wish to talk. If literally nobody has anything to do, then we will just start skipping through. Welcome back. We'll just start skipping through the days then if nobody has anything that they wish to do. This is kind of my way of trying to give you guys a break from the constant and like repeating insane chaos that normally happens in this campaign.
The only problem is it's a little easier. It's a little easier to do that when we're actually on an island.
I mean, kinda, yeah, but also no. Like,
I got no
talking.
ideas.
Okay, fair enough. Is that for everyone?
I will be interacting with Pike later in the day.
Alright. Well, then we'll just go and hop to the later day since everybody else is silent.
I got nothing.
Oh, that's fine. Alright. So what are you talking to Pike about? He'd just kind of be like in the, lounge area, essentially, where you guys sleep.
Yeah, Mollis would head up to talk to him as he really wants to work on self-control.
That is fair. We did talk about like him trying to help you with that. So what we'll do with this is we'll like help you kind of like learn to maintain your sanity meter a bit because it's something that Mollis only has, which is like a sanity meter. Essentially, training with him enough will essentially just allow you to have like an advantage on your rolls against losing sanity.
Yay!
So it won't be straight away, but it's just to kind of help you with that for now.
Yes.
But, yeah. So yeah, you'll spend like the day essentially just kind of working at that. I want to also mention, Ublex, you won't have to cook for a bit, by the way, because you guys just have like shark jerky everywhere, so you won't have to worry about that. But yeah, that's everything. We'll start blasting through the days then, if that's the case.
I'm gonna read all the Celestial books.
Alright.
All of them.
I say within the first 5 days, you can probably read up on, like, one of the books on Celestial Planes. Because it's a way thinner book.
Could I at least finish the 2 Celestial Summoning books then?
Yeah, if you want to do Celestial Summoning, I'm gonna be honest, those are chunky books. It'll probably take you the whole
fair.
travel to get one down.
Okay, that's fine.
So yeah, you'll kind of just read that passively throughout the travel, essentially. As you guys will start blasting through the days here, so I'm gonna actually start rolling for any encounters or anything.
Now I think of something. Fuck.
Well, we'll roll past one day, and then you can get to that then. So
Okay.
let me. All right, first day goes by fine, so there's nothing crazy that happens. You know, it's a nice chill day. Night goes by fine, no storms, no sharks, no like giant megalodons, no krakens, no pirate raids, no navy people. You know, it's a good day.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm waiting for the nat 1.
Oh man.
Finally, one
all-
of us has to roll dexterity save.
So
Yeah, I'm good at that.
So you see Revelation starting to make its way back to you.
Wait, what?
The Titan.
Fuck.
The
No.
fucking Titan.
Nah.
Oh man.
I am leaving.
Oh man.
If
It
that's
looks-
actually.
God, can you imagine? It just like shows up to you guys and just points at one of you like, I want to play Yu-Gi-Oh. I charge you to a fucking do. Alright.
That
Now, correct me
happens.
if I'm wrong, but I think Chrono out of everyone here would be down to learn a hyper-specific card game.
Fair. What was the thing, Usagi?
Okay. So, all right, this is a spectacularly stupid idea, but
It involves the. Okay. It involves trying to teach Yori to see things in the dark, because in buildings you are often forced to go into them when they're dark with no light source, because light
Oh.
will attract attention.
So she'd look to you and just go, I have dark vision.
Oh.
Yeah. Kids can kind of have
Oh,
that normally.
Oh.
Yeah. Thank you, though.
Well, no lesson for today.
Yeah.
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 Just the yeah. I don't have to learn shit today. I can go back to being brain empty.
Yeah, honestly.
I fucking love the genuineness of the yay.
Well, okay, never mind. That's not happening. Okay, my idea's out the window.
Alright. So we'll go and blast through day 2 here.
Shit, I got a note down.
Yeah, you might want to note that
Days. Give me a second.
Alright, I'm gonna just while you do that. Okay, cool. So day 2 goes by fine. You're lucky. That was like 1 underneath to where it could have been bad. Normally 1 to 10, something happens. 11 to 20, nothing happens. And even then, the random counters can be good. That's just determining whether or not a random counter happens. So it was like 1 above it. You guys got an 11. So nothing happens on day 2. Day 3, something happens. Is it good or bad? Gotcha. So, on like day 3, you guys are kind of sailing, and you're starting to get near that path area, where like you can start seeing where people like start kind of like normally kind of sail through. Because this is when you can kind of see like, oh, there's little wreckages in like the ocean, because mollusks just dive underwater every now and then. This is kind of my way of letting you guys know that you guys are getting back on the path. At one point, you have dove underwater, and you can see that wreckages are starting to show again, which normally means that people are like, oh, this is the area where people start traveling. This is where like Navy and pirates and merchants have gotten into fights in the past. This is normal. We're out of the fucking death waters. Because being off the path can sometimes be bad, because those are normally when sea monsters will start showing up. They're more likely to show up if you're off the path. So, you're back on the safer zone area. But as you're like kind of like as you're kind of like sailing through this area, it's been a pretty peaceful day. I'd say it's around like 3 p.m. Now I'm going to check everybody on the map. If you are underground, like not underground, like not on the top deck, and you are like maybe like in like the storage room or something like that, put a little icon to let me know. That way I know who's going to be under.
I'd be sleeping.
Okay, so then go ahead and put that little castle icon that I've been putting for everybody when they're underground. That way I know.
Okay.
I'm sorry, what time did you say this was happening?
3 p.m.
Okay.
Oh, never mind. I'm not sleeping, but I'm goofing
Yeah,
off.
that's why I asked that, because yeah, no, Chrono would just still be reading at the crow's nest.
I'd be just goofing off.
Fair.
Just
Yeah,
emoting
find it.
in the middle of the hallway.
There it is.
Alright, so I gotta actually go grab a thing. I did not have the. Actually, wait, no, I don't even have an image for this. Cool. Because you're about to find
Lovely.
out. Yeah. So the people who are hanging up top, you have Shindeo like up on near like the side area where the slimes are at, kind of like fishing. You have Mr. Whiskers kind of just watching him aggressively because he wants to try and steal a fish, probably. Yoru's kind of hanging off on the side as well. Kodama is still in the underground. He's mainly staying in the underground because he's just constantly refixing the, like, atrocity that is this ship.
I like how we didn't ask him. He just has some bad OCD, I guess.
Well, I mean, he's, at the end of the day, it's a thing of, like, he's a shipwright, and
Right.
I'm gonna be honest.
He's on a breaking down ship.
Yeah, he's on a breaking. This ship is not meeting his standards in the slightest.
By the way, Ned, I still haven't forgotten about commissioning him to make us a better ship at some point in the future.
Yeah, that's fair.
I just figured maybe that island would make it a little difficult with all the slimes and whatnot.
Yeah, you might be better off maybe at the next island. Which you guys still haven't asked what island that is, but you get to ask that later.
Oh,
'cause
boy,
there's nothing happening.
Boy, but who's there?
So you see, you start hearing like actually for everyone that's up top, roll me a perception check.
Can do.
Oh man.
Please, not my ex.
12.
Okay, we got a 12.
It's just
An
book,
18.
man. This book is so good.
Oh man.
Uh-oh,
Okay.
Spaghetti-O.
Okay, what'd you get? What'd you get, Reed?
I'm below deck.
Oh, you're below deck, right? Yeah, no, I forgot. Sorry. Right, cool. So, the reason why I got confused there for a second is because you said that you wouldn't be asleep, so I figured you two were back up on top. But yeah, no, never mind. Understood. All right. So, Dylan, I feel like you won't hear this until it's like right there on you.
Okay.
Mollis, you can hear from like, it feels like it's like maybe like 35, 40, maybe 50 feet away. You can start hearing like a flapping. But it's not like a normal like a bird's flapping, how it's like kind of you know, it has like a melody almost to it, you know? There's a rhythm to it. And it's not like the Asmars you dealt with, where there was like multiple like wings going off. It is this frantic, like there's no pattern to this flapping. It's like, it is constant, fast-paced, like, unrhythmed flapping. And you can hear just, like, and like the closer it gets, like maybe like 30 feet away now, you can start hearing
What in God's name?
When you start hearing that, that's when Chrono can also start hearing this. And you can see Benjamin from the crow's nest just go, what the blazing fuck? And then you hear a crash as it careens into the deck, into the middle of the deck. I'm gonna ping where. Directly in the middle of the deck.
When I heard that,
oh no, everybody heard that.
I'm gonna rush up to the top of the deck.
Oh yeah, Chrono already got off to go check it out.
Okay.
In God's name is happening. I'm trying to sleep.
So
sleep here.
So for the people that didn't see it, which is the people underground, and Shindeo, who has his back turned, or had his back turned, all they heard was the and then you hear the clattering as it slammed heavily into the ground, into your wooden planks, and you can hear the clattering of metal and glass shattering and just anything. And then you hear just like or actually more of a, as it like collides into the rails. Now, what Chrono, Mollis, Yori, and Mr. Whiskers Ublex and the lieutenant would see. Ublex, the only reason why I'm letting you see, despite your horrible roll, is that you would have at least turned around to see what happened, I'm imagining. You guys got to see this thing dive down this scrunkled up green goblin. It is decrepit. It has like a portions of its ears like chipped away, probably where swords nicked it. You can see where it has like scars on its face and on its shoulders, on its arms, all over the entire body. Its eyes are sunken in, and it is almost like it is these two beady, bright blue, icy eyes that are like pushed into its skull. And like it's this weird thing of like it's got like a buff like upper body, but it's still like you can still see the rib cage. There's so many things that don't add up with it. This thing's like maybe 3 feet tall.
Hi, just a quick refresher. I was in prison. Is it normal for goblins to rain from the heavens?
No. Fucking
Okay,
no.
that makes sense.
Do you have wings?
Okay, I figure not, but I'm just double checking. He's gonna take a step closer to kind of get a closer look at the goblin, essentially.
Mm-hmm. So,
And,
yeah.
I'm Chrono just gonna say, hi?
Right. So here's the thing. It landed in the middle. It would have then slammed into the rails, as I like lightly mentioned before. So if you're gonna be moving closer to it, you'd probably need to move more this way. Just moving your icon slightly.
I'm gonna do the same, if only because he doesn't have wings, right? So that means he just fell.
Well, I haven't gotten to mention this bit yet. Also, you'd be coming from the kitchens because you're coming from underground. So you can probably remove your little icon here.
Okay.
Under,
Okay.
But yeah, so he has this like on his back. He has these like leather wings that he has constructed.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
And-
think I know where this is going.
And he has this massive bag on his
I know
back.
exactly who this is.
What's up, Icarus?
He's been around since my first ever campaign.
I have no idea. Who this is. Okay.
Meaning he's seen multiple worlds be destroyed.
Oh my.
Interesting.
So he's a fun little character, and I love him to bits. As you see him immediately get up, roll off his back onto his feet, swing around, and you can see Shindo just give him that look of what the fuck. As you would see him create this almost devious, it's he's trying to, the smile's trying to be comforting, but with how decrepit this goblin looks, it's almost off-putting.
You okay there, buddy?
Hello there.
Hi?
Gimo the goblin, glad to meet ya. And he immediately pulled out this red cloth and slaps it on the ground, and then pours out a bunch of items onto the thing. You just go, what do you want to buy? Come on, I've got gifts galore.
I like this guy. I like this guy. I don't suppose you would have any. I don't suppose you would have any catnip, do you?
Catnip. And you see him stick his head into the bag, and you see him rustling. It's not a big bag. It's the bag's maybe half the size of his bag, his.
Gotta be a
right?
bag of holding.
Yeah, it's probably a bag of holding, because he reaches into it, and he keeps going further and further into this bag, but it sounds like every single movement he makes, there's clashing of metals and plastics and rocks and glass shattering again, and you can hear money kind of jingling within the bag as well, and you can hear all these random sounds. You hear at one point you feel like you may have heard the screams of the damned coming from it. It's very concerning. And he would just go, right, here it is. And it's like, when he says that, it echoes through the bag. And you just pop his head out, he's like, I've got catnip for a price.
Okay.
How does...
What price would that be?
Right, let's see. Inflation.
I'm
We
getting
don't
no
use
closer to
gold
this
here.
fucker.
It's not silver. You guys don't use platinum. No, you guys don't copper. Right, what was it?
We use rupees.
Rupees, right. Sorry, it's been a while. He pulls out this like calculator and just starts going at it. You don't know what this thing is, but I'm modernizing it to let you know exactly what that is. The players, at least. For any characters here, you're looking at that like, what the fuck is he just pulled out? It's just like a box with numbers on it, and he just starts putting it. It's like, all right, so you have a total for the catnip, 50 rupees.
That's. I will have to respectfully decline.
Damn, doesn't even barter. What type of fucking customer is this? And he just shoves it back in.
What the fuck is this?
Wait, actually,
No.
actually,
Wait.
Colonel.
You accept? Oh, you accept bartering? You say? Well,
He pops his head
pulls
out.
out. I pull out. Time for me to.
Sweet.
I pull out this chocolate bar
Okay.
that I have. How much do you think this would be worth?
Would you say that your chocolate tastes light and airy?
What are you talking about?
Because you're a cloud.
Boo! Usagi's gonna look at Chrono and just like with like a shut the fuck up expression.
He'll just kind of throw his hand to the air and says, "What? It was good."
I'm in the middle of it. I'm in the middle of a business transaction.
In the middle of business.
God.
So, how much should this be
Keeping
worth?
my eyes on this little fucker.
Gimo would look at you and just go, let's see. That's around 50 rupees, I'd say. That's blood chocolate.
Well then here, I'll trade this for the catnip then.
Yep, you can trade for the catnip. So you'll never know what the blood chocolate does as he puts it away.
Oh well. Too bad. Too bad. Catnip's more important.
Fair enough.
I need it for I need to treat my girlfriend right. Thanks.
You see Mr. Whiskers eyeing you down.
This is for someone else. Not you.
He just walks away, storms off. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking as a player, I know it's fine, but speaking in character, I'm just gonna make an insight check. Alright, that's a 9.
Yeah, I mean, he seems trustworthy.
Chrono's just decided.
Yeah, there you go.
Legit.
Alright, so I'm gonna
Alright.
go place a bunch of. I'm gonna send you a bunch of items that he has placed randomly onto
Cool.
the things that can also be bought here as well. You can also sell stuff to him. I'll let you know. But let me roll see which stuff he brings up and how many things he puts onto the bag. So he emptied 10 items. So I'm going to send you 10 items.
Oh my god.
So
All right. Lay it on me, Chief.
the first one that you see, it is these pair of. I need to go into NPC visuals. First thing that you see is these like gloves, these like white gloves that have this like red marking over them.
Ignition, you say?
It is gloves of ignition. Mm-hmm.
Quick question, Nitz. Could we?
This reference?
Oh my god, yeah, no, it totally is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need that, but
I run them differently though than how the actual thing goes. So
I
you know.
don't
Quick
need
question, Nitz.
Mhm.
Sorry, Reed. Could we roll like checks to figure out what the items do if we get a high enough roll before we buy them?
Yes, let me send them all first. But yes, you
Fair
may
enough.
afterwards.
Just wanted to double check.
The next thing you see is a ring. It has this like red orb like kind of floating in between it, and it has a little needle that seems to also be kind of like poking into it.
Ow.
Inwards. So if you put it on, you'd probably be pricking yourself in the process, but
There we go.
so it probably has some type of magic property that requires that. The third thing you see, it is a jar with a that has like this like cloth wrapping over it and some type of like shining glowing berries that are like a light blue.
Alright, so what? Sorry.
Hmm?
That intrigues me. What? I'm gonna ask him what that does.
We will get to that in a second. I'm going to send all these
Okay.
because otherwise I would genuinely forget to send the rest.
Okay,
But
that's
I
fine.
will give you an answers on this. And also you'll probably have to roll investigations with some of these.
Okay.
But we'll see. I'll also roll to see if he remembers what some of these things do. Some of these will also be pretty obvious, as like this one, which is a ring of familiars. It is a golden ring with a blue jewel up on it. So there's that one. There is also this little collar that looks a little odd. It's got these like almost like cat-like eyes built into it, made of jewels.
Oh!
Kind of like stuck up on there. And that is
Give me ideas.
that is the fifth one.
Oh, God.
I'm gonna cut this down a bit because I don't want to be constantly sending you guys too many. So we're just gonna put up 2 more for you guys. So I'm gonna throw 2 more, and you're gonna see a bottle that has this floating flower in the middle of it with these vines that kind of wrap around it. And then there's one last one, and I am going to send it. Hold on, let me grab it. Let me grab it. As you see this box that has this like galaxy design on it of like stars and like a moon logo on it of
Stings?
cigars.
Oh, man. Nakamata smokes cigarettes, I think, right?
That has not been confirmed nor denied,
Oh.
so you don't know.
No. Well, yeah, she probably doesn't.
But those are the
he's
things.
He's more of a weed person.
Now,
So,
Chrono
besides
wanted
weed
to
person.
ask if he could roll for any of the ones here. If you see any that interest you here, you may roll. You could also ask Gimo, but there's a shot that he doesn't remember. Now, you said, Usagi, that the jar
Berries?
interested you, right?
And that collar, because
Okay,
I'm thinking of gifts, alright?
that's fair. I'll roll and see. So he does remember the berries.
Okay.
He does not remember what the collar does.
Mm-hmm.
So he looks at the collar. He's like, I don't remember what the collar does, but I do remember what the berries do. So these are bubble berries. These berries are found growing in like the undersea. They're kind of spread
Alright.
throughout the ocean by bubbles intercepting them from their stems as they grow. They can be found in like the original plants and catchers on drifting bubbles. Eating one of these will make the consumer lighter than normal, so your jump height and life is doubled.
Ooh.
You also would gain advantages on deck saves. He stares directly into the camera, and you get advantages on acrobatics checks. Stares at the camera.
So how much of those?
They're 450 because there's 38 berries in here, and they last for 30 seconds each.
Can I get some of them? I don't think I need that many.
Oh, you don't need the whole. Okay. How many are you wanting?
God.
How about like 5 or something?
Okay, fine. Let me do some calculations here. So it's 450, and there's 38. So that means each one would be 11 rupees. You said you wanted how many?
5.
Okay, 5, but it's 11.8, so I need to round to the 12. So 5, so that's gonna be 60. So it'll be 60 rupees.
Sure.
So yeah, for 60 rupees, you can get yourself 5 bubble berries.
All right.
Hell yeah. Later on, since this has finally been bought, I will make it sometime within the week. And when I get it made on D&D Beyond, you will be able to add that to your inventory directly. So for now, just like write down in your notes or something. I always make these after
Okay.
people have bought them because I don't want people getting a spoiler of being like, oh, wait, these are a thing? Yeah, so because they're like homebrew stuff, and I want you guys to be surprised by this
Okay.
stuff. So yeah. And also it keeps people from being able to look at a homebrew item that they've never seen before and just going on the inventory and looking at it and be like, oh, that's what this does, even though they're supposed to have found out their own way.
Okay.
So yeah.
And also, how much does the collar cost?
The collar. Let me check. I do want to also recommend, while I'm pulling up the price for the collar, things can be bargained for, so you can try to negotiate to bring the prices down.
I know that. It's just to
Yeah.
have the money to pay the asking price, so I figured,
That's fair. That's fair. This is
it's
definitely
easier
like
to not bother.
That's fair. This is like a bartering guy, and his prices are naturally high because he's used to people doing that. So I'm just letting you know ahead of time.
Okay.
So he would look to you and just go, "Collar, let me check my prices," and you just pull out this list and just go, "Right, I have this at $8.50."
Damn.
All right,
It must do something.
I have an idea.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me think for a minute. Okay, this is out of character.
Mm-hmm.
I have an idea.
Okay.
I'm gonna do a thing where like it's a. Okay, this is gonna be the greatest scam ever if I can pull this off.
Okay. What's your plan?
Remember that skeleton cake?
Yes, I do remember
Actually,
this.
I'm sorry if I could interrupt really quick.
What?
Reed, would you mind waiting until everyone wants to buy something has before you attempt to scam, just in case if it goes wrong and he gets pissed off and leaves?
That's fair.
That is fair.
Yeah.
That is very fair, actually. Okay. Yeah, sure. Go.
Okay, cool. In that case, could I make some kind of check on those gloves of ignition, because those sound badass.
Yeah, roll me a. I'd say. You can either roll me an investigation or an arcana.
Well, I have the same modifier for both, so I'll just do Arcana, because technically it makes sense.
Alright.
That is a 14.
14. I'd say that's enough for this thing, because I had literally a DC of 14 for this. So
yeah.
using a charge, your hands will be able to catch on fire. This lasts for 3 turns. It adds a d6 of fire damage to each unarmed strike, but you will take a d6 of fire damage each round while using it.
Oh.
So it's a get extra damage, but also it's a risk-reward type of item.
I'm already kind of squishy enough as it is. I think I might pass on that, actually.
That's fair. That's fair.
Let me look around the items again.
Alright.
Okay, could I make an Arcana check on that ring with the little needle?
Go for it.
That is an 11.
An 11. Okay. So, actually, weirdly enough, even though it's only 11, you're still gonna pick up on a decent amount of aura here. It is, because it is like, it's a strong aura. That's the reason why.
Okay.
You can see that by tuning this ring, it'll probably connect you with someone's magic. So it wouldn't make you a warlock or anything like that, but you'll probably be borrowing someone's magic, essentially.
Interesting.
Yeah. You don't know if there will be a cost to it, but that is what you know.
Okay, I'm gonna skip the Ring of Familiars because I think I already have a good guess on what that does, unless I'm mistaken.
No way! That's fair, that's fair.
Okay, so what would the potion with the flower inside it? Could I also roll an Arcana check?
Yes.
14.
14. So with this, it is almost a, like, vial, like, aura that comes off this. You can't quite tell exactly what this thing does, but it feels like whatever this thing is, it is almost like an eldritch magic. And it is very fucking strong.
I see.
You could ask about more about this on what you would do with something like this, but as of now, like, just like main ideas like Arcana, like specifically, you can kind of get an idea of the aura and like, but you weren't high enough to be able to know exactly what it can do. You could technically also do an investigation to try and get an idea of how it could be used, but since considering that your Arcana wasn't good enough to know exactly what it does to begin with, that really wouldn't work.
Okay, I'd like to try investigation then.
All right.
11. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So that's where like that bit of information that you're missing there kind of comes into play. So you're kind of just sitting there like, I don't know what I could do with this. Again, you can always ask.
Okay.
But yeah.
I'll just go ahead and ask, being like, "Hey, that looks kind of weird. What do?"
Okay. Gotcha. So he would kind of look to you and go, "This thing, right? So, if I remember right, you implant it on yourself. But if I remember right, there's a shot it could take over your body. So it's kinda,
Oh.
yeah. I have it in a
not
bottle
buying
for a
that.
reason."
Yeah, no, I'm not buying that. Fuck that, bro. I don't.
Yeah, I found it because there was a bounty hunter that got it implanted on him and he was dead. But he seemed to have, like, mastered it at the time.
I
So-
mean, unless. Oh god, that just basically sounds like the illicit parasite from Baldur's Gate 3, without any supernatural assistance, essentially.
I want to let you know that this item specifically, is yet something else from my first Zipper campaign. So,
Oh, okay.
I didn't
All
even
right.
know about illiths at the time. So it's not inspired at all.
Oh, gotcha. All right, and just because I don't want to waste this opportunity and make sure I'm not missing out, I would like to do an Arcana roll on the cigarettes.
All right. Won't take much for this one.
How's a 6?
6. Somehow, within all of its glory, you don't get it. You look at it and you're like, those are going to give me lung cancer.
All right, I'll just ask what the cigarettes do then.
He looks to you. Doesn't need a roll check for this one. Well, you light it and you smoke it. It'll give you a levitation spell temporarily. At the disposal for one day, so you'll be able to use it once. Just, make sure you use it by the end of the day. Comes with a pack of 6.
Okay.
So,
Okay. All right. Now that everything has been identified,
Mhm.
I'm gonna be honest. The only one I think I'm really interested in are those berries that Usagi bought. Just
Fair
because
enough.
compared to all the other items, like I want something that could be consistently reliable, not like compared to the other stuff, which either A, doesn't seem important, or B, if I use it, it could have unforeseen consequences that I would rather avoid.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm. So, how many berries would be left in the jar after Usagi bought 5 of them?
33.
Okay, how much would 20 cost?
Good lord.
Okay.
Actually, no,
so
let me rephrase
2,000
that. How much
Wouldn't that cost
would...
under 20?
How much could I buy for 120? Let's word it like that.
Okay, so you want to buy 120, so 120 worth of rupees of these things. So you'd be able to get 10 of these, because each was like 12 rupees.
Okay, so that's what I'll do then.
Yeah. So yeah, you'll get 10 berries. You can put them in like a little pouch, and yeah, just make sure you're just looking to just go. Make sure to preserve them. They'll go bad
Oh.
otherwise.
Noted.
They're meant
I'll
for the
probably-
undersea.
You said that you'll get advantage in dex saves and acrobatics checks, if I recall correctly?
Mhm. He looks at you, the player.
Uh-oh.
You just like every now and then you see him just like randomly talk to nobody, or like just like look into the like just atmosphere, just the air. Like, where are you looking? Who are you talking
Gotcha.
to? Man?
I'll preserve it after this section. Alright,
Alright.
I'm done with this guy.
Acrid, Issa, do you have anything?
Nope.
All right, Issa.
All right.
All right. All right, Issa, it's all you, man.
All right. Okay. This is gonna be the best. If I can pull this off, this is gonna be the best scam ever. Okay. All right. I really want that card, so I'm just gonna be like, right. I pull out the skeleton key.
Mm-hmm.
So, I have a good bargain for you. This is a key. Unfortunately
Unfortunately, I got it off a very. Fortunately, I got it off a quite. Fortunately,
You got this, man.
it's buying. I don't know what it does, but it isn't. But I know that it's incredibly magically powerful. What do you say if I give you 96 rupees plus this, do you think, plus this incredibly unique item, do you think I could get that collar?
He's gonna roll an Arcana check.
Fuck.
Oh.
This is not gonna work well.
Alright. Yeah, no, unluckily for you, this was a high roll. As he did
Can I roll
get,
deception?
you can try to roll it against his Arcana.
Oh, please. I got a +8, baby. Here we
What
go.
you get?
You do
DC's a little high, I'm gonna be honest.
That's a nat 1. Oh, God.
That's,
Really?
that's so
Really?
unlucky. So he would look to you and just go... He kind of puts like a hand onto your shoulder. And it's almost like a sympathetic look in his eyes. In his cold, sunken eyes. And he would just go... New to bartering? Listen, we all start somewhere. I understand. I feel bad for you. You've been turned into a cloud thing from what I can tell. I'm gonna say no. I see. What can I? So you wanna get rid of that key though? It's not worth anything, from what I can tell.
No, it's not.
Right.
If he already figured it out, then that's not gonna.
For a key and 96 rupees on
I
my
do
page.
have, however, have all these old books that are actually valuable, possibly. Puts down, like, drags out all 10 old books, and this statue,
All right.
puts down.
Let's see.
I just really want that collar, because imagine if I fucking give that to her, she's gonna be over the moon.
Alright, so here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna roll me a persuasion check. This is gonna determine how much he's going to value these.
Oh,
Now,
fuck me.
Hear
Alright.
me out, Reed. If this fails, not to literally rip off from One Piece, but I'm just saying, Mala still has a lot of money from that
I'm-
tournament.
Oh, man!
Take a
A
loan.
13!
13. Okay.
Where are my rolls?
Alright.
What did I just roll? I did not mean to click that. I just whooped.
Hey, Moss, can I borrow some money?
Oh man, alright. Let me get these.
Please?
So,
Just the fucking whip around of his mom's got all the money.
so he kind of like looks over at the statue and goes, alright, let's see. He starts like inspecting its like, basically its current like, what's the word? State. How, is it damaged? How damaged is it? If it is. There are like, because it's an older one and it was probably found in like one of the like destroyed areas. You can see that there are like some chips, things like that. So you can see where he's kind of like ducking a little bit of like the natural pay. He would just kind of go, let's see, maybe 650 for it. It's pretty damaged. And then we've got the books. And he kind of like starts rifling through them to kind of get an idea of what their stuff is. You just go, alright, book logs, old area, could sell that to a museum later. Give 300 for those.
Ugh.
So 950 in total is what I'm willing to give for that.
Oh, perfect. That's enough to get. That's enough to get the collar. Anyway,
Alright. So if that's
and an extra 100 gold, I believe.
Yep, that is correct. Is that what you wish to do? Use that money, barter it
Gold.
over?
So,
Alright. So you guys trade over. He gives you the extra like 100 gold, gives you the collar. As you now have what is called the collar of Tabaxi kind.
wait.
Yep, that is already made in D&D Beyond. I made that like almost a year ago. You can add that to your inventory. Just don't read the description at all. That is all
I'm
I
gonna
say.
I'm looking up the description.
Do not look at the description.
I'm not.
No, I'm
Yeah.
kidding. I'm kidding.
Okay, it's gonna
You got me curious,
matter.
though.
It's not going to matter in a second because I'm going to try putting it on.
Okay, you're gonna put it on? Cool. So
I just want to see what happens.
That's
because
fair.
I don't want to give something to my girlfriend that that would cause
Good.
terrible problems.
alright, I'm gonna check exactly because it's
What
been a year
kind-
since I've made this. I'm gonna
What
check
kind of lover would I be if I did that?
that actually though,
Untested
true.
love.
I
I do care
Mhm.
mostly.
Mostly. I'm gonna check this real quick because it's been such a long time since I've actually checked this out. I want to make sure that I have this right. Okay, so when you put it on, first it just feels like a natural accessory. To be able to access anything that it can do, you will need to attune to it. So do you attune to it?
Yes, because I'm not attuned to anything else as far as I know.
Okay, cool. So right now, you would get proficiency temporarily as long as you are attuned to this. You'll get proficiency in perception and stealth. Your dexterity or charisma score would go up by 1. Your reflexes and agility are amplified, allowing you to move with a burst of speed. So when you move on your turn in combat, you can choose to ring the bell to double your speed until the end of your turn. This feature has 3 charges. Once they have all been expended, you cannot use this feature again until the following dawn. And the charge has 3 charges. So you just roll a d4 and see how many it fills back up every time.
I'm debating whether I should give this to her now.
It's fair enough. Yeah, it's completely
because-
fine if you keep it for yourself. It's fair to you.
So can I add it to my inventory properly since I know what it does now?
Yes, just know that if you attune to this, I'm going to let you know ahead of time. If you attune
Yeah.
to this, you will not be able to unattune until the extra stuff that I cannot tell you about comes into play.
Oh fuck.
So, I will
Can
reiterate.
I look at the...
You should not look at it until you can give me an answer, because you will see what those extra things does, because it's naturally in the description. I do apologize on that, but I should give you a heads up on that.
How long will it take for those to take effect?
It can literally, it's just like every day I have to roll like a D100, and if it gets above an 85 or higher, then one of them will take effect. There are 6 things that slowly start to build that can, that
I'm gonna
they
turn
can go
into
into.
I'm gonna turn into a fucking cat, aren't I, if I wear this?
I cannot answer this.
Oh.
Will you attune, or will you not?
Oh, I don't want to because I need to get this appraised or something in order to get a proper like analysis.
That is
It's
fair.
too dangerous.
So for now, you'll keep it unattuned?
Yes.
Okay, so for now, I'd say either add into your inventory and just make sure you don't read the description, or just write it into your notes.
I just wrote it into my notes.
Okay, that's fair. Completely done.
Wow.
But yeah.
Alright, I guess we're done shopping with this guy?
If I turned into a cat when I wear this, if Necromancer wore it, it wouldn't even do anything, would it?
Probably not. She's a tabaxi if that is the case. But like again, these are very much just theories that are being drawn up here.
Oh, fuck. Alright. Okay.
Now,
Whatever. I'll get this looked at by an expert, and then they can tell me.
yep. As you're like kind of like trying this thing out, like seeing if you want to try properly try it out, while you're like debating all this in your head, you see Gimo get back up from sitting down and just start packing his things back in and just go, well, I made a good deal today. Excuse me. And you see him just shove everything into the bag at once and just go, I have somewhere to be. And you see him just jump up like 15 feet despite all that weight and just starts flapping like a madman. You see him like he was beginning to fall and then he stops falling, begins floating, and then you see him start taking to the air directly vertically up. And then you see him just starts like going forward.
I like to imagine maybe Krona and Usagi were just kind of watching that whole display. And then after he flies away, Krona's just gonna say to Usagi, you know, I still remember that you told me that I'm gonna get used to all this eventually. I'm still waiting for that day.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's
That,
not normal.
now I have How do I test what this thing does without endangering myself?
You could attune
Chrono's
someone
already
else
gone.
to
It's
it.
a crow's nest.
No, not you. I'm gonna look.
Mm-hmm.
Try Mollusk, I fucking dare you.
That's a terrible idea.
Yeah, you will end up in the ocean, and you will have to figure out how to get up on your own.
Well, there is one person who we don't care about.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, the lieutenant!
What? She's sitting there doing nothing. She
I-
was only useful.
True. She's got to
Fair
pull her way
enough.
to the crew.
Is that what you want to do?
I'm thinking about it.
You
I'll
just gotta
think about it,
persuade her,
'cause-
that's the only thing. Oh man, while you figure that out, we will probably kick on to the next day.
All right.
Mollusk does one thing. He's gonna check his bag because he doesn't exactly trust that thing.
Go for it.
Fuck it. He's gonna. I don't have to investigate my own bag.
Roll me an investigation.
To make sure nothing's been yoinked, because
So
he's
you
like, that's a
get-
fucking goblin. I
Should
don't
you
know.
get advantage because it's your bag?
Yes, he would.
Yay!
Yay! If anyone else wants to, they can as well. That's up to you.
I'm good.
18.
18. So you're kind of like rifling through it. You managed to keep your distance from him the majority of the time. You didn't really ever go near him. So luckily
Yeah.
for you, you don't see that anything's missing.
Yeah, no, I know. I did not get close to him. I was like, I was like, that's a goblin. They like to steal. I'm good. I'm not.
I'm going to roll about that myself, actually.
Fair, fair.
Also, but Mollusk is on the side note going to roll another Arcana to see if he can figure out what the fuck this crow Kuro does that he has.
That's 12.
Fair. Alright, so with that 12, you don't
Hey.
quite notice anything missing. If anything is missing, then you don't notice at least.
Okay.
Oh man.
Hey, who has Best Arcana here?
Best Arcana, probably the wizard. Which
Which one's that again?
that
Mike?
would be Karori.
Okay. I'm gonna go bring this over to. Do you think you could
Mhm.
help me figure out what this does?
I could try.
I just bought
You-
it. I bought it because it looked like a cat item, and
Yes, I got
but
you.
it might be useful.
I can look into it. I'm also looking into a ring from Mollusk. His has been taking me a bit, so I'll have to get to that after I get done
Alright.
with his.
Alright.
He's got a curse on that one, and that's being a bit of a. Try not to cuss. Bit of a pain.
I'm so sorry.
Weirdly enough, whoever chose to curse this thing, they really had some hatred in their heart. Because who the fuck puts on 5 different forms of curses onto one damn ring?
Oh, Mollusk is just like, I'm fucking sorry.
Chrono like looked up from his book.
I'm fucking sorry. You said, huh?
Yeah. Oh, man. You just go like, yeah, from what I can tell, it seems to have multiple curses on it, but also it seems to have one hell of a buff. I can't figure it out quite yet. It's taking a bit. God, who the fuck is that spiteful?
Who's that spiteful?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of flaws to it, but it does one really good thing.
Yeah. Oh, man.
This is why I only bought the berries, bro.
Oh, man, it's fair. Okay. Well, he didn't even buy that. That was the thing that he found when he ran into the Titan and all that. That's that thing. But yeah, if that is all, you will travel. Also, by the way, Issa, by now, you should have gotten rid of all of your slime mass, I think, by now. Slime mass, unlike water, you only lose a foot a day. Wait, no, you had 5, so you're down to 2 right now. But you can go and remove the rest. I'm not going to make you hold on to the rest of that 2 extra feet of slime mass, because you'll probably get rid of it within the next 2 days anyways of fast travel, so you can go and remove all the extra crazy mass on you. So I'm gonna roll here. Also, what was that? I heard a ping. Who the fuck? Who fighting? Who fighting me? What was that? What's that 22 for? Right!
Arcana. That was my second roll, so I guess it would be the next day, but...
Yeah. So it was a 22, and what was it on again? I just want to remember something.
The fucking crow. The
Right, the
crow
crow.
item I found.
The crow item. It was
Crow Curio.
Crow Curio, right. Sorry, I have to like sort through like a chart in my server, on my private server, for like every single item. Cause
No, I believe it.
Yeah. So the Crow Curio. Right. The Crow Curio. Okay. Where'd he go? And you got a 22 on that?
Yes.
Why
Nat,
is
Nat
it-
19.
Why is
Nat
it
19.
disappeared? The fuck? Why
No.
did it disappear? No, come back. There it is. There it is.
Yeah.
So I'll be sending you. You've learned enough. You got a high enough one to where you actually know the rest of it. So I'm gonna just send the full chart thing
Yay.
on NPC visuals. Now I will mention that this item was made by an actual person. This is the one time that I haven't homebrewed something with my own special description. In the past, I've taken items before from like Patreons and stuff, like the designs, and sometimes I'll like be like, okay, well I like what they did with this item, but sometimes I'll like revamp it to whatever I want for that detail, because sometimes I feel like I have a better idea than what they actually did for it. So the Crow Curio, however, is different. This was made by Shiny Press. So, Boundless Lore, the crow tells you 1d4 facts about someone, someplace, or something you can tell it about, or it can see. A target can only be targeted by this option once. It also has loaned expertise. The crow gives instructions to a creature it can see that makes an ability check. They can roll with advantage. You may ask it to help as a reaction to an ability check being made. Memorized Arcana. The crow casts one of the following spells: Detect Magic, Find Familiar, or Identify. It can only summon specifically Corvids for familiar, by the way. May I remind you, in order to actually be able to use this thing to be able to use any of those abilities, you will need to animate it with your action and engage it. It will need to engage with conversation with anyone around it. While animated, it will need to look for entertainment, being pleased by its new knowledge, interesting conversation, and arts. If a check is needed, to impress it. The DC is 13. So you need to impress it first before it'll tell you anything. And you can only activate it once. So if you can't persuade it within that, one time that you've activated it, it's just going to be watching stuff, but you won't be able to actually use it for that day. So, yeah. You got a little guy that can give you information sometimes, or, give you advantage or reaction. Of course, it can't give you information that it wouldn't know. But, yeah.
It knows all.
It knows all. Because I remind you, 1d4 facts about someone, someplace, or something you can tell it about, or it can see. So it either will need to see the place, or it would need the full name of that said person. A target can only be targeted with this once a day. So just remember that. You can only use Boundless Lore once a day. So, yeah. I'd also say, just as a little heads up, same thing for loaned expertise and memorized arcana. You can only use it once a day. So if you're going to use one of the spells, you can only use one of them. So just choose it wisely. Yeah. But now you have the Crow Curio. Now you know what it does.
Yeah, Mollis is going to start re-looking through his Navy papers he has. Because now he wants to look up something. He's like, what the fuck's your name?
Alright, cool. So what name are you looking up for? Who are you looking for?
He's trying to re-find the Dragonborn person.
The Dragonborn. Yeah, so you're going to start looking through the papers here, and you start rummaging through, and you would eventually find the name. As, if I remember correctly, yes, you're looking for the Dragonborn Navy captain that was the one that had enough mercy to at least spare you, which was Cho Masio.
God. Okay, so I'm gonna write that down.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah. So you now have that. Is there anything else you wish?
I'm gonna attempt this bird.
Hell yeah. So go ahead, roll me a persuasion check as you activate this thing, and it starts looking around, taking in the information. It's a new scene, so it's pretty entertained, so it's willing to talk.
Okay.
Oh.
So I have a disadvantage. Okay, so oh boy, this is not gonna go well.
You got
I'm
this,
realizing.
man.
2d20, take low. Keep low.
You got this, man.
Keep low one. -1.
You've got a -1. You'll be fine. You got this, man.
I almost
damn.
had it.
Damn. The disadvantage you killed you. You would have had a 15. So with that 6, you try to like convince this thing of like, hey, wanna give me like you try to like basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to like convince it of like an entertaining fact essentially to try and get this thing like interested. So it's willing to actually give you information. So you tell it like something that is like common knowledge to it, but is like to you as like a ocean folk is like, yeah, did you know that like there's like people on land? It's like, yeah, no shit. Like, like just like something like that. It's like something like that is obvious, like
it's simple to the bird.
For it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not anything that was interesting to it. So sadly, it will not talk to you for the day. But yeah.
Not surprised.
That being said, if that is all for this day,
that will almost never work. I know that. I will
There's
almost
a shot.
never get that 6 succeed.
That or you can like you can have someone else do it for you. That is an option too. But yeah, so if that is the end of the day then for everybody, we will start speeding through travel real quick one more time.
All right, let me add another day.
Gonna fish.
You're gonna fish? All right,
Good to
Ublex, you're gonna go fish. Go ahead,
23
roll me
days
that survival.
Oh, fuck.
You got this. You got this. Roll that survival. You got this, Issa. 13. All right, so you start. You'll catch a fish. You catch like a little like carp. I'm not gonna make you do the whole crazy athletics thing every single time. I feel like that'd become a bit much. It'll be when you get a nat 1 that I'll start making you roll athletics check. I feel like that's pretty fair. But yeah, so yeah, you'll catch with that 13. You'll catch like a little carp. Just like out of the actually I guess technically a sea bass would probably make more sense in the ocean. So you catch yourself a little sea bass. Though those things aren't exactly small, but you get the idea. Just gotta throw it up in your hands. You got a little dude. He's a little small for a little sea bass, but you got him.
Share my inventory.
Let's go. Now you got different type of fish. A little bit of variety. Hell yeah. Alright, 4th day. Day. 6th day. Cool. So you guys are 6 days in. You're 4 days away from the island. Everything seems to be going fine. 7th day.
I love reading.
8th day. 9th day. And 10th day. Understood? So, luckily for you guys will get to this area pretty easily. Like, besides that one, like, random, like, area where you had Gimo the Goblin come over to you, the little merchant, that was honestly all the interactions you got. Everything else was, like, just, like, normal sailing ships. Every now and then you'd pass by, like, when you got closer to the island, you'd pass by, like, a fishing ship or something like that. But it wasn't, like, anything like, oh my god, pirates or navy or anything, luckily for you.
Okay.
So I'm gonna pull something up here, because this actually does matter. You show skibbity boo, skibbity ba, skibbity wibbity wow. Right. So, Rustbreaker Island is the island you guys were heading to, because nobody ever asked. So you're gonna find out now.
All right.
You guys were heading to Rustbreaker Island. The same island, if you might remember, was the one that was talked about having treasures from a certain emperor.
All right.
Yeah. So you could go treasure hunting if you want.
It's money time.
Yeah, no, I want in on this. This sounds
Now.
like fun.
Here's
All right.
the cool.
You do the talking. I do the stealing.
Got it.
Hell yeah.
Wait.
Let me give you some information about this island, because this is something that you'll know, notice as you're coming up to this area, and there will be some survival checks for a reason I'm about to get to. So as you are beginning to make your way up to this island, you can see that coming up to it, there are these holes of crow's nests and pillars of crow nests that kind of emerge from the water, of random shipwrecks from different areas. You can see these rocks, these heavy giant rocks near the shore area that kind of just jut out in random areas. basically sticking out. Most likely the ships that have sunk in here are probably ships that collided into these rocks. As you can kind of notice that the waves, because the way the rocks have kind of built around the island and kind of like spread out like away from the island, it kind of is like almost manipulating the waves to like for the current to become very specific, almost like it's pulling you in.
Okay.
But it's more like it's pulling you in towards the rocks and not the shore.
Wait, that's not good.
You can see that the shore itself, which is mainly Benjamin seeing this, but he obviously is relaying this to you. He'll let you know that he can see that there's like twisted metal and decaying wood just all across the seashore. And you can see that there's like people all over the place, basically like rummaging through it. Like people are like salvaging anything in there. That's probably because they're trying to find the treasure.
It wouldn't be out in the open like that. These people have no sense.
But you get what I mean. There are people that are like looking through this like rubble, essentially, of like fallen shipwrecks that have collided into these rocks in the past. You can see that like near the shore, there's this like pretty well elevated cliff, probably where the village is at, because you can see some buildings over there. You can kind of like it's just a lot of buildings. There's like one really big building that kind of like a lot of the buildings here are like made of like wood of different textures. It's not like one specific wood. It looks like they've made their buildings out of a mixture of whatever wood came from the shipwrecks and just used them for rebuilding. So these like buildings, like the roofs and have like metal from the metal scraps that they found like up through the roofs, and they have these walls made of like different types of woods and shades. So like the coloring is just sporadic. But you can see there's this one really long like building that kind of stands out because it's like probably at least 3 or 4 stories tall. And you can see like one interesting thing even from this distance, because it's like when you guys are arriving, it's kind of like nearing nighttime. They do have a lighthouse, by the way, so you guys can still see the rocks. You guys aren't in too much danger. You will still need roll survival checks to get around this problem. But you can see that from that building, there's like these like bouncing lights of like different colors kind of blasting through it. You can see like these colors from these windows changing from reds to blues to greens to yellows, like all these different colors. They're just having a good time over there, probably. But yeah, that's what you can kind of see as you guys are approaching here. You don't really see much sand on these shores because of just how covered they are. But now here's where this comes into play. I don't know if someone wants to take over for driving, but whoever's going to be driving, right now it's Guildart, will need to be running survival checks to steer this thing away from the rocks.
Oh, I'm not. Not me. You think I can drive a
memory's
boat?
Correct. I think Goldheart actually has the highest survival modifier out of everyone here.
If I remember right, besides him, like he's the highest NPC. I think the only person that ties with him in PC is Mollis.
Yeah. So 2PH plus Goldfarm's already got tons of experience. I mean, it's like I think I'm okay if I just let him just keep doing that.
That's fair enough. Alright. So you will have Gildar continue to pull it through. And I'm going to roll for Gildar for survival checks. He'll have to do 3. It's like going to be like a little mini boss battle.
Is there any way we could give him like a help action or something like that?
Okay, here's the thing. So when it comes to help actions, the way I normally do this, and this is something that I haven't had to mention in the past, but I'm going to mention it now because I think with something like this, it comes into a little bit more prevalency.
Okay.
Here's the thing. When you want to help someone, there has to be a way for you to be able to help them. So, like, in the past, you guys have been able to help them because you were already searching for something as well, or something like that. So with this, how would you, if you can describe it to me, how would you help? How would you give him that help action?
Actually, I think I already know.
Okay.
Can I make the argument that Chrono and Benjamin coordinate while they're on the crone nest, kind of like relaying information to Gildart while he's traveling?
I will allow that. That'll work.
Right.
Cool. So he will continue to steer it. He will have advantage on this. So on the first roll, he will succeed. What?
I'm sorry. I read statuses counting down the days until I get my balls back.
Love that. Love that. The second day, the second check is a little bit more rough. So you see is like he's kind of like he starts like steering in like and away from the rocks as he's like kind of making his way to the dock. And he's like, and like you can feel like as if the water's starting to literally start to pull you guys towards the rocks. So he's like basically steering you guys barely away from these rocks. But then you feel like as if on like that second, roll, like he starts like pulling more to the right. So he starts turning more to the right, and then he starts getting sucked in a lot towards the right from the other rock side. So that starts grating against a part of the rock. As I'm going to roll the next one. As he will manage to get it away from that rock as you guys continue to pull forward, so there's not too much damage done to the right side of the ship. As he will get it back on course. So that is 2 to the ship, 1 to the rocks. And luckily, that is all the damage that will be done. Kodama's just going to have to spend more time fixing up the ship. But he will manage to pull in to the dock, basically getting you guys completely steer cleared from the rocks, luckily for you.
Yay!
But yeah, there's a bit of damage. This ship does have a health bar, by the way. It does have a health bar. So Kodama is actively playing doctor for this thing, essentially. But he's going to go fix it up. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Oh, yeah. So, with all that being
Playing
said...
doctor with a dying boat.
Yeah, basically.
Technically, we already made plans to eventually hop off this boat.
So I'll let you know, schooners, because they are the smallest boat, essentially, it's got naturally maximum health of 100. This thing has when he found it, it was at 35.
Okay.
Yeah, it checks.
Yeah, this thing was getting ready to crack. So.
Oh Lord! All right.
Yeah, think about it.
It had 35 hit points left.
Yep. 35 out of 100. And normally a cannonball to specifically structures like ships and buildings, their damage is doubled. So it would have hurt. But yeah, so as you guys begin to embark onto the port, that is where we are going to end off. As next episode, you guys will get to goof around on the good old-fashioned Rustbreaker Island.
Now, to my fellow players, I can't speak for you, but are we all just squinting at Nitsify right now, or is it just me?
What? What'd I do?
No.
What'd I do? I didn't do anything.
I'm so traumatized over the Fire Titans episode.
Listen, bud, every time you say goof around, somebody dies.
Listen, that is purely by small chance, and I can't help that,
Listen, bud, when it's consistent, it's not small.
Sometimes it
Sheer
happens.
dumb bad luck.
Yeah.
Listen, as long as A, I get paid. B, I finally get to confront my stalker and ask for their bodyguard services.
I can't guarantee that.
I can hope. This island's actually populated. They might actually be here.
The other question that'll come into play is, have they even picked onto your trail yet? Because you guys were on an abandoned island that it wasn't on the path.
True.
Well, now might be the best time to leave a trail.
It'd probably be your best shot to leave a trail. You also said that you, before a session, you were going to leave, a trail for her, or him, or them. Because the only reason why I say her is because you've been assuming that. You never did. You never did it during the session. So, if you were going to leave when you did it.
Oh, well.
So, oh well.
Well, not on that island, but to be fair, that island sucks, so...
wow, you hate your own people? That could have been your own people. That could have been your ancestors, man.
They're all
That's fucked
dead.
up.
Anyway,
Wow.
They're all dead. Anyway.
So you gonna say about that? You gonna say that about yourself when you die in the game? Is you saw you're just gonna look at a dead body like, man, I sucked, and just walk away? All right. Either way, thank you all for watching this episode. If you want to find us, you can find us on Spotify and on YouTube at The Lost Arbor. You can also find our second channel that we have on YouTube, where we have all of our extra D&D stuff. Though those campaigns are also going to be game put on Spotify. I'm trying to get everything caught up. I promise. I'm sorry. It takes a lot. I gotta use a lot of storage for that. But we have other stuff up on the Lost Shipyard as well. If you want to go check that one out, you can find Tic Tac Dylan on Twitch. You can find Sir Acrid on Twitch. You can find Toasted Ghost on Twitch, and you can find Frog in a Box, which is literally just a game development studio that you're kind of, right? You're creating your own game. So
yeah, basically.
Keep an eye out for that, bitches. All right, and you can find me at me. All right, see ya. Bye.